Hello. No.
Ain't
We're
no
doing this
cookies
phone.
here.
Can't fuck your shit.
Oh, you both
Yeah, we're both in the
emerged.
same room. Yes,
Congratulations.
we are both here.
You become one father and son.
I call us the From.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you both have found the time to bond with one another, literally.
I've burned my hands. So we live in the same town.
No, I mean like father and son bonding time is just taken one step further, you know?
Exactly.
I should have
He's
seen her.
just
She
like
was
you.
beating me earlier.
Oh, well.
Hey, you fucking didn't give me the alcohol just like I told you to.
I'm sorry.
Alcoholic abuse.
Go get me a
You
beer.
heard it here first. Father alcoholic abuse.
What's happening?
Or
Go get me
I
another
guess,
beer.
I guess son alcoholic abuse, maybe? I don't know.
I love alcohol.
It's good for you in some cases. Like when it's, medicine.
I drink rubbing alcohol. Don't do that, kids.
Yeah. In game.
I'm gonna do it.
It's okay. I said to not do it. I think
Don't ever do that.
leave it to the professionals.
On God.
On God. No kizzy cap for real.
Can I leave?
No,
Oh.
you stay.
Hi, Fred.
I think we're just missing Dion. I don't know. He said he was gonna be a little late, which is fine.
Cat.
What do you mean we're missing Cat? What?
Cat. Ari died.
I heard.
Yeah,
That's
Ari
like
straight up.
embarrassing, dude.
He's alive again though.
Yeah. Worth.
Yeah, her one-time use.
Yeah.
He's super happy about being alive, by the way.
It's like, bro, that shit's like,
Earned, right?
it was really just
think-
unlucky, bro.
Poor
It
kick
was
your ass.
dead
You're
ass,
like,
like-
dude.
Bro, the world wanted him to die, just off of that alone. Like that was like,
I think you're lucky.
Like,
break,
everything-
Yeah.
like
It's just.
it's not even like it was not even like a dumb choice Ari did. He just had to go into the cannon. I mean, he couldn't choose to go into the cannon. So it was just unlucky landing.
The walk back would have been miserable too, though.
Yeah. Like the cannon was the best option.
For
it was
sure.
just terrible luck. Everything went bad at
Yeah.
once.
And that's how the game works sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank
no.
you, game master, for that.
Yeah, no. I was talking about it with Dion today. I was like, it was funny how I died, but bro, that NPC pissed me off. Cause, bro, like what?
He did his job right. He did it
Bro,
right.
get the fuck off! let only my doctor touch me, bro. Don't let anyone
Oh,
else.
let me check. This
Only my
real
doctor.
Like, let me like.
That shit was funny.
Let me check. One more thing, and then I'll start in a second. I'm just checking one last thing. So Idris, Mimosa, Father Cruz, Ymir, and Velu all have inspiration. Carnelian does not get inspiration because I did not do it. But I like your interesting
Oh.
choices in languages that you had. I was looking at each of them. I'm like, man, almost all of you chose something real dark.
I was gonna choose Abyssal, but somebody took it from me, so
Damn.
sleep with one eye open tonight, guys.
You know, it's
First
okay.
of all,
There's duplicates are
No.
allowed, I think.
No. I killed him.
Zap literally replied with Infernal.
Yeah.
I know,
And-
right? That's why he fucking dies today.
Me personally, I always thought the idea of Sylvan would be cool, but I
Sylvan
don't.
is cool too.
I just don't know like what that translates to, like what it sounds like in the real world, other than just regal bullshit. So
I just want to have a conversation with a god or something.
They're
so,
cool.
So that's cool.
I mean, you did. What do you
And then-
mean?
Yeah.
speaking,
What is that?
what is it called? There's one that speaks like the undead speak or whatever. That'd be cool to speak to dying people or dead people. Be interesting. Ruin your life probably. Anyways, if
Wow.
there's nothing else,
I want to sniff a glue. I want to eat
okay,
it.
I'm gonna start. We'll get back to
Oh,
everything
you
what's
can
going
famous
on.
up here, fine.
We
Oh.
begin with, let's say, we could start with you, Father Cruz. if you have the time to share. You're still walking with this white leon into your town in Solaria, accompanied by a couple of guards, carrying some bodies that were lifeless outside of the town. So, yeah, you're just walking along. You finished conversation about some of the town's history, kind of what's what. He's nodding and he's like, "So you're not part of Oracle or the province, you're just kind of in between."
Yes, we do our own things here.
And he just kind of nods and keeps looking around, brushing some of the sand off and blood, little splatters that he has on him. I appreciate you helping us out.
Any friend of a friend is also my friend.
That's a good way to put it. I'll be sure to pay my debts back. The meanwhile, where shall we rest these bodies? Do you have a certain respected place?
Let's just bring them to the church. There's plenty of room there. Many aisles.
We'll hopefully repose these bodies, and in due time, I'll be able to transport them back over to their homes. Just for the night, I need to lay them to rest somewhere. You guys start walking over to the cathedral church, whatever it may be, lit up at the time, and you see the Sister Rem is like kind of already with some people inside of the church. You're bringing some bodies in, and she's like, "Oh, Father Cruz, hey, come back!" And she's, "Oh my goodness." He kind of like takes the bodies and just kind of walks, looks at you for a second. You both are kind of like the same height a little bit. You both are standing like head to head with one another. And he just kind of looks at you. It's like,
Size him up.
I mean, he doesn't seem to bother. He just looks at you. He's like, "Is this area fine?" He kind of like just kind of leans over to like an area where a body would fit.
Yes, anywhere is fine.
Just kind of sets it down. And it's like, I'll see if I can. Sister M's like, "Oh, I can, yeah," and just reaches out a hand. You see them gentle reposing some of the bodies as they go, and she's able to do so, kind of expending some of that small magical gift that she has. And after it's expended, looks to you and it's like, "Well, your guest seems awfully nice." And he just nods. It's like, "Father Cruz has been grateful, and you are, Sister." They just shake. Very tiny bird, very big lion, just shake. And he kind of stands there. It's like, "Well, I should probably go back and check on Velu."
Wait, before you leave, are you telling me that the prince did all of this damage?
It was him and a couple of his lackeys. We all snuck up in the night, and we all fought a hard battle. We stayed outside the town to search for our friend, and I had thought we were safe, and it didn't seem that way. Matter of fact, it was actually by shock of us. We did not know that there was someone perusing outside of your town. It seems as though we had drawn attention to ourselves.
The prince had already sent a few to haggle my town folks. They even burned down one of our buildings.
That's
Can't be too safe.
I'm usually not used to any type of infiltration on the Western continent, but I do know that there is treachery on the east after the King Delician's separation from power. We always welcome place for Oracle in Halavar, but the province has been very difficult to sway in most of their meetings. They usually travel from the West Oceans over to us over in the Kingdom of Genesis, but rarely ever seldom do they ever show up on their own. It's mostly entourage. We haven't had the luxury of meeting the prince until tonight.
Do you know what brought him here?
I do not know. I just know that we were the victims of whatever his horrid tales have told so far.
I'm sorry to get you caught up in my mess.
It's not your mess.
Oh, I guess
it's kind of. I appreciate you taking the ownership of it, but honestly, I feel like I've brought burden upon you. Either way, I'll be seeing myself shortly, and with some reparations, hopefully we can just make this easy and move on.
I'll see you around.
Hopefully. And he just kind of like turns his shoulder. A cape flies behind him. Just a small cape. It's not like a long one that falls to the back of his leg. It's more like a short one that kind of stops behind the shoulders a bit. You see symbology of like small etchings of like jackrabbits kind of going across in a very geometric pattern. And he just is starting to walk off. You see like an adornment of a kind of like half like double-bladed scimitar on one side, and you see something kind of glyphed onto the wrist. Definitely equipped in a very fancy luxury. You can make a history check with advantage if you like.
I do. Also, do I know where the jackrabbits initiate or
That's what this history is about.
originate? Okay. Skills. History with advantage. Nobody saw that. Okay, 1d4. 20.
20. In his passing, leaving out, you're kind of coming in reminiscing. The Kingdom of Genesis has many houses. Genesis is one of the many kingdoms that still is a monarchy in its trade, or I guess a patriarchy, because it's ruled by king and queen. But the Jackrabbits are actually the current head house of Genesis. They are House Hasting. Right now, the current king of Genesis is King Hasting.
Before the guy goes, Cruz will say, so did you meet Bello over here? Or is he from Oracle?
There's a pause of stopping to say something, and he's in a moment of, you don't even need the insight. He just turns and says, "It's been a long night. I should probably just check on him first. I'm sure he'll have his own stories to explain to you about us. I don't feel comfortable talking about him without him."
You're right. It'll be a story that's more enjoyable to come from him.
He nods in respect and makes it as it. You see a little bit of a face of holding back something. You don't even need to make the insight for it. But with that, you are with their Sister Rem. Sister Rem kind of like kind of taps you on the side and just like, so the bodies, we can leave them here for the night. If he's leaving tomorrow, then I mean, it should be easy. But I can only repose them for so long.
It'll be fine, but could you do me a favor and watch over this tonight?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Thank you. You do it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't. I should have thought about guards too. That would have been smart.
Rem, it's okay. I don't think there'll be any more attacks.
And just laughs and kind of like puts the feathers kind of intertwined with themselves and just kind of looks up and says, "I really hope so."
Me too.
Cuts from your scene. We're gonna go over to where are we gonna go to? Let's go look back over at Mimosa. Yeah, Mimosa and Idris, you two are together right now.
Yeah.
Carnelian is also with you, from my understanding. Carnelian
Yeah.
is still kind of like in a daze of moments right now. There's a sort of a sigh that comes from his face, but he seems to have reclused himself. In the area with you two, you both are basically shared. Idris, you're already having your feelings of, memory that may be coming back up, but you all share the room with one another. Oh, Father Cruz and Ymir have not returned yet.
I was just gonna awkwardly stand there for a moment, like looking around, tapping his sides. Been a long night, long day.
Carnelian just stares.
Moses gonna avoid his eye contact and just look at Idris.
Um, Idris is gonna kind of like she's kind of turned like her arms inward, kind of just wrapped around herself for a second. It's been a heavy day for her, and she just kind of looks over at Mimosa and she goes, "How are you?"
Well, I'd be a liar if I said I was okay.
You and me both.
He's gonna pull out a bottle of alcohol from like his bag. This might help a little bit. I know how it feels, so to speak, about having something like in your throat.
Carnelian just turns away and just kind of starts walking into like the room where he typically sleeps and just closes the door. Carnelian
Moses
kind of
is gonna.
steps out of the
That's
room.
my room.
I'm really sorry about all of that. I'm sure you know, but that wasn't me.
I know it wasn't you. You don't have to apologize for that.
I didn't feel like myself. It was like I was there, but I wasn't.
That's how it usually typically feels.
That's how you feel when that happens.
Sometimes that's how it feels. I have only a little bit of control. Not really. But sometimes I don't remember any of it, which I like that better, but
I feel like I'd like it better if I couldn't remember it either, but
no. But I usually end up dreaming about it later.
Oh, that's the worst. No wonder you need a flashlight on you at all times. She chuckles at like the weak joke, and then she, one of her hands just kind of rubs like where her neck connects like her shoulders, and she just sighs. And then she like stretches an arm, another hand, like her free hand out. She goes, "Give me the bottle."
Yeah. He's gonna like just pop it open and just hand it over.
Idris chugs.
Oh God. Yeah, shit's hard. I mean, it's not easy to drink, but it doesn't feel like bad, worse than what you just went through. So yeah, you take a couple chugs, drop the bottle, breathe, probably put it back up one more time. You know, a little
I
double.
don't think all of it.
Oh, she kind of swishes the ball around and she hands it back. There's still plenty left.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Dion. Dion, right now, you're actually kind of in this scene in a moment. You were with Mimosa and Idris while they were discussing kind of what the kind of like making rapport of the after events and trying to become positive once again. Carnelian, in your stance there, you kind of had an eye for a moment at what their remarks were, and some of them were kind of like poking at the, some of the things that have occurred, and you're still a little touched about those things right now. You've separated yourself into Mimosa's room just to take kind of a breather and like just compose yourself. You do have like a moment of space to yourself, but you do still hear like the kind of conversation behind the doorway.
Cornelia's gonna leave the room.
Okay, you open the door. They're in the open living space.
I think he's just gonna walk outside actually.
Okay. A moment you see if Cornelia has like gathered potentially some of their stuff to walk out, and they're starting to walk out the door.
You're leaving?
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
Where to?
like leaving, or stepping out?
Well, I don't want to be a harm to anybody, and to now know that I have this thing that can randomly pop out without a moment's notice is really just upsetting and dangerous after I've gotten kind of on Mimosa's ass for the same thing. So I
Cornelius.
think taking a leave for a minute to figure it out would be beneficial.
You are gonna come back, right?
Yeah, I'll come back.
Mimosa's gonna pull out another bottle and just kind of like wave it over in Cornelius' direction without saying much.
I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No. I like to keep a clear mind.
I wish I could say the same.
Thought it would keep me on edge, but I guess just not. Continue to start
Yeah.
walking through the door.
You walk through the door. In your way out, make a perception check.
Okay. Let me open my sheet.
No worries.
Perception?
Also, Mimosa and Idris, you can make a perception check. This is separate, but yeah, perception for you guys as well.
Oh boy, oh boy.
15.
Find
15.
my
Okay.
sheet.
My bad.
22.
Wow, that's high. For a 15,
Me a second.
Carnelian, you step out the door. You do see that Father Cruz is seen kind of like spotted outside walking in a direction. It looks like they're walking with some white furred creature. You don't get a good glimpse, but they wear like some armor and weaponry around them, and they're like walking holding a body. Father Cruz and a couple of the guards are like kind of walking through the town with them. You kind of catch like the back end of like them walking away. You don't see Ymir or Velu anywhere though.
Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of in the middle of town, just kind of seeing things as they are moving about, and you're seeing guards kind of like are scattered across and on a high alert.
Okay.
Yeah. You can still move as you wish, but just more of your acknowledgement.
Was this this is a morning?
No,
morning?
this is still the night.
Still the night. Okay. Cool. Oh fuck. Okay.
Long day.
Oh boy. What do I do here? I'll
23.
Okay.
I guess Carnelian will Carnelian will kind of like wander the town in the direction towards the blacksmith.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a far off direction. You actually have to pass a little bit of where Father Cruz's direction is. We'll come back to you in a moment. Mimosa and Idris, you still have a moment in this time, but your perception checks both gather. You have a high enough roll for both of you. You look down at Carnelian's shadow and see that it is there, and you also look down at yours and you see that you have yours as well. You take kind of a remark of looking at this as like there's no like fuckery going on outside of the house, and it kind of reassures you once again. You also take a notice that it's still night out, and there like is a I don't know a light breeze. Some people crossing, and there's a crossing of two guards in a rather swift motion. Maybe raises your suspicion about a higher alert in the town, but not as much as it is like it focused on this bottle.
Yeah, Mimosa's gonna hand back the bottle to Idris and just pop open his own.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Both you share a couple swigs, and for a moment, Idris and Mimosa, you just kind of knock a few back. Returning to Carnelian for a moment, in your passing to the blacksmith, you actually do come across like a new face, standing at about roughly maybe 7 feet tall, like this white Leonin, covered in some matted blood, carries like a double-bladed scimitar at one side, and wears kind of like these shoulder pauldrons along with some type of mail or some kind, imagery of different types of like symbology on them, very out of character for this town. But you just see them kind of walking in a motion direction towards the outside of town. So you're kind of falling behind them. But you do see like just a new form of body walking, and you see they have walked out of the church and walk away.
This is for Cornelia.
Yeah, they haven't
Alright.
seen them notice you either though.
Yeah, that's fine. Cornelia will keep his head up.
Yeah, you keep your hood up. You pass by the church. You see inside Father Cruz and Sister Rem both talking to one another, not making notice of you as well. You continue your footpath until eventually you reach the blacksmith.
Yeah, Cornelia will kind of look around the blacksmith.
You see currently kicked up with feet, laying on like the anvil and then a chair. You see not really paying attention to like the entryway of the door, but more like kicking back like the feet. The boots are off, toes are out. The fire of the forge is kicking up. You just see kind of currently with the hands behind their head, the hair kind of slicked down. The half orc Robin is currently just like relaxing, eyes are closed, maybe in the middle of a nap.
Cornelia will kind of like kind of tap on the side of the wall.
So you see it's like this like abrupt motion of like pause and stern feet hitting the ground, turning for a quick motion, looking as you keep your hood up, but you stand at the doorway. It's like, oh, Carnelian. Yes. 1 second. I should put my shoes on. Puts her boots on, walks over. Yes?
I was wondering if you wanted to tinker with some stuff for the night, and I can help you.
Sure. Yeah, I could tinker with something. What do you? Yeah.
I have some spare rune rifle parts.
Oh.
Are the runes on them, Jacob, glowing? Or like the other ones, or like they have the same symbols, or is it just like completely unrepairable?
It might be repairable. You just don't know like if a blacksmith could do it. This kind of looks like something maybe like someone who's proficient with like firearms would be able to help with maybe, but it doesn't seem irreparable. It just maybe seems stuff can be salvaged potentially, which Robin does take a look from what you just show out. They're like, I mean, parts of this is still really good material. It's definitely lost its magic though.
Right. I'm pretty good with firearms myself, so if you could help kind of show me how to maybe, well, it doesn't look too repairable, but
I don't think we're gonna be able to put it back to the way
salvageable.
it was, or I don't even think it's gonna fire again. But
Right.
some of the material here can help you in repairing in the future in case there is like mishaps. For example, you could take the trigger mechanism out of there and make sure you have a replacement, or you could do what kind of weapon is this?
It's a rune rifle.
Rune rifle. Okay. Let me see. They're gonna make a history check. Actually, they're gonna make a tools check because they're gonna inspect it with their tools. I'm not gonna actually modify anything about it. We're just gonna take a look.
I have proficiency in firearms, so
you can help them for sure.
yeah, I'll help them.
Yeah, you help them out. Wow. With that help, they roll really high. There's a moment where Robin kind of like grabs the tongs and kind of puts it in, like next to the light of the forge. Looks at it and says, "Yeah, there's looks like something's jammed in here," and just kind of like reaches inside of like the part where a bullet gets loaded. You've already put something out of it and got a free round, a jammed round. But you see that they're like kind of digging like a tong or like something in there, and they wedge out something at the front of it. It looks like there's some type of like gunk or glue that they pull out. It's like this probably is what broke the thing in the first place. This looks like someone sabotaged it.
Ah, interesting.
That's interesting. I don't know what this is, and it's like it's what seems to melt with heat, so that's good. But it's like It's like hard. It's like glue. Don't know. That's weird.
Is it? You've never seen any like?
Yeah, you haven't seen anything like this before. I mean, it's pulling out. It's like kind of black from the carbon of whatever like ignition there is on the firearm, but it is magical in its sense. So really, there shouldn't be anything dirty about it. So seeing any type of like debris in here, you wonder if like someone had shoved a rock in here and they tried to fire it and it melted. Like there's many different scenarios of that. But as Robin goes to like tinker with it more, it's like, I might be able to actually fix this.
Yeah. I can help you. I mean, your experience with making and fixing things, and then
I think I just
I
need.
am with firearms.
Well, it doesn't have magic anymore, but I think I might be able to make it work without magic. I might be able,
Oh.
like I think I could do like there's old things like pistols and muskets, right? Like those are older century items, but I mean, I could make this an effective pistol.
Could it
It would be different ammunition,
be imbued with?
but
Could it be imbued with magic afterwards?
potentially. I mean, I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it'd be
I'll
better than
help you with it.
nothing. Yeah, you two spend this time. Both of you kind of spend about the good portion of the night kind of working together on this. I'll have you make a tools check for me. This is going to be your D20 plus your dexterity, and since you have firearms proficiency, I'll allow you to roll this with advantage. Typically not advantage, but I'm letting you roll since firearms don't necessarily have a tool that you can use.
12.
12. It takes a little bit of time. It's gonna take
I'm
probably
okay with
most of your
spending the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in those moments, you see Robin like sweating, like the sweat beat off their head. They see they remelt some of the silver that's on it. The gold that was part of the inlay is all like rusted from like the magical decay. You see like they're explaining to you some of the intricacies of magical weapons and why it's hard to work on them. And they start venting to you. You guys start kind of sharing a laugh about weapons. She tells you like the first gun she's ever seen, talks about Sal, talks about like a bunch of different stories with you while you guys are like kind of engaging in this. But it takes a lot of your time for the night. While you're doing this, we're gonna go over to Velu and Ymir. Both of you still kind of out in the sands for a moment, reprising with one another. After sharing some vulnerability, Velu, Ymir stares at you with a different countenance. Velu, you feel seen in a way, but also scary, because now there's something about you that's kind of out there in the world, and you know the dangers of some of those things. So, in a separation of the night, the stars look above. It's a clear night. Desert has never seemed more calm, but also a slight breeze picks up in the air. Outside the town, it's only lit basically from your presence from the town itself and the lights that hang from there. There's no other light in your guys' view from where you are. It is dark.
Oh, you can't talk about this to anybody?
No, I don't want to. Well, no, I can't. It's not that I.
You don't want to. You can't.
It's more like I can't.
You just did it to me.
Well, because Velu decides not to respond to Ymir.
Oh. So what I said made sense and what you said didn't, so you don't respond.
Velu looks
I'm
at
joking,
Ymir.
by the way. Just to be clear. I mean, like you can do it. You just don't think it's the best idea? Is that what you mean?
The less people know, the more safe it would be.
That
would
doesn't make
rather-
any sense.
I just don't.
Because
wanna-
whatever just happened, you being gone was really rough. Because shit hit the fan the moment you teleported away.
What do you mean?
I went back into the home and everyone was convulsing on the floor because of something I don't even know. I'm not even sure what actually happened, Velu. But I was alone. You were gone, and I didn't know what to do. And I was powerless. My magic wasn't helpful in any way. And Carnelian was dead. And
What?
then he's alive again, and it doesn't make sense, but I was alone. And regardless, it's because I don't know. Either way, yeah, I don't know if like not knowing about your stuff really helps. I'm not saying like it was your fault that you were gone, but you being there would have been pretty nice. I would have felt a little bit better. But yeah, I don't fully believe in the idea of the less that know, the better, because we're kind of stuck together. So whatever shit you have going on will eventually creep up on us, like it did, like an hour ago. Not even an hour ago, like 10 minutes ago. But that's for you to figure out. You are completely free to make your own choices. I appreciate you showing me this. I have tons of questions because whatever you and that other guy was talking about was full on bullshit, but it's whatever. We should
Velu
probably.
begins to get a nervous tick when Ymir said whatever, quote unquote, whatever you and him were talking about was bullshit. And he's kind of like um cracking his knuckles.
Calm down. Ymir is gonna put his hands on his knuckles. Like, it's okay. I just know that there's something deeper going on. But not just you, but every single person in our group, including me. We seem like a bunch of people that have a lot of shit going on. So, yeah, he'll put his hands away and he'll put his hands in the pocket of his coat and he'll sniffle and look at his sapphire again. And he'll start walking off towards the where Father Cruz lives at. We should probably get going.
Okay. Velu follows.
A few steps in the sand forward as drags as basically a small walk turns into a faster pace as most of your steps Ymir became a little quicker as you notice the cracking on the sapphire kind of driving you a little bit forward. It's a nerve, but you understand that this isn't the first time. It repaired itself over a night. Surely it will happen again.
Oh
It
yeah,
is
and
it is nervous.
another thing, while they're like walking, you should also tell them that you're friends with like a Leon, and I think that would probably like solve the situation that's going on right now.
Just because I have a friend
It might
who's
help.
a
I don't
Leonian.
know.
We're
Maybe
not
you
gonna
should ask.
Night.
Maybe you should ask your friend how to solve the situation.
that's can't.
No, because the friend, my friend, is gonna think I'm racist, and I'm not.
Why don't you just explain yourself?
No, because
'Cause
it's
it's kind of a big. Okay,
embarrassing,
but it's
and
like
it's.
kind of a big situation because they don't even want to hang out with you. So like,
I
I don't know.
know. Maybe I should.
Like I know you're not like racist or anything. This is just really weird to be a part of.
Valute size.
So I don't know.
You continue to walk. Um, the "I have Leon and friends" question mark comes in your mind as you continue to move in a swift pace back. Both you having each of your own individual tamings of how to deal with the night. Um, Father Cruz, I think you do emerge to meet Ymir and Velu on their way back into the town before arriving to your home. Ymir, Velu, the town is lit. There is a couple of like in place torches and fires, a central area, and the town is as is, but a lot more guards posted. Things are moving a little fast.
Mhm.
That cruise.
Oh, Ymir, Velu. Glad to see you've made it back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything all right?
Just moving their wounded and deceased until they can pick them up.
Velu, you acknowledge the presence of your bond approaching from behind you.
Belu turns around.
He just steps forward and says, "Everything's cleaned up from the path that we've made. Sorry to interrupt."
Okay.
I didn't get to like formally introduce myself. I was really emotional.
Right.
My name is Ymir Zafir Enid. It's nice to meet you. Ymir's gonna take his hand out.
He reaches his hand out. Nathaniel
Nice to meet you.
just shakes the hand very firmly, nods, very calm in his stature, very like back pronounced straight, very tall. There's like Father Cruz and him are at the same height. Like they are kind of both imposing in the same direction, looking kind of like where both of you are. And he kind of stands there for a moment, clearly just does. Well, I will go find a place for myself in the town, Velu. Before you make your rest tonight, please be with me. You will know where I am.
Okay.
And just kind of like nods, says, "Father Cruz, Ymir," and steps away.
Like, kinda hot. Was that just me? Is it just me?
You see you see like the backside of like him walking off, shoulder to shoulder, long double bladed scimitar, like decked out.
Like he's stacked.
I'll throw.
Chris is just gonna ignore Ymir.
I
So
know. Bad timing. I'm sorry.
Belu's giving you kind of like a small side eye.
I'm sorry. My bad. It doesn't like turn off, Like I see things that are really nice to look at, and I'm like, wow, like you guys are really nice people to look at. I'm sorry.
Wait, can we go back? Turn off? What does that mean?
Like my eyesight.
Oh, okay. You know what? Never mind.
Don't make it weird.
Okay.
We should probably head back to the others.
yes.
I will not.
Why?
Joining us
I'm gonna
later?
go talk to. Yeah, I'll meet y'all later. I'm gonna probably go talk to Nathaniel.
You're just gonna grab on Vilu's arm. You should probably come with us. A lot has happened. You can come. You can go there later. I really would appreciate if you were with us.
But don't you want me to have the conversation with Nathaniel about the thing?
Yeah,
He's
that
just gonna,
makes
like,
sense.
Look at them and tilt his head.
It makes sense. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Bella leaves.
You're just
Towards
gonna
the
look at.
direction of Nathaniel.
Yep.
You're
just
just
kinda
gonna
follow
look
behind.
at Cruz.
Anything important that he did to talk about?
I had like this little funny, not like funny, but like interesting idea, seeing as, I mean, if he's hanging out with a Leonin, he cannot actually be racist to Leonins. But I don't know if it's like, this is such a just a touchy situation. I know Velu's not racist, but it's like, it's not really my place. It was just an idea. So,
We should let Velu bring that up himself.
no, I know, and he's going to do that. I'm just, like, I was giving the suggestion to him, so there he is off to do that. But are you okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
What happened?
When? What are you
When
referring
you
to?
guys were convulsing on the floor in your living room?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. We all thought it was real until we woke up and realized it was a dream. We were fighting shadow versions of ourselves.
Yeah, that was terrifying to walk into. I thought you all were going to die. Please
Right.
don't do
We
that
did.
again.
You were the one who lit the torches, right?
Yeah.
You really saved us there. You have my thanks.
Did I actually? And you see like a sincere like look on his face.
Cruz will put a hand on his shoulder and have the most sincerest look on his face as well. Yes, you did.
Okay. I'm happy to help you guys. Anytime.
But are you okay?
No, not really, to be honest with you. That was a lot. Vilu vanishing was a lot. Being alone was a lot. Um,
Are you not used to being alone?
Thinking back on it, no, I am not used to being alone. I have been with people for majority of my life, and it's always big groups of people. My family, the sand rats, and then you guys. The only time I was like less people was with Murdoch, and that was just like a mentor thing, and that was nice. But either way, I didn't feel like completely unknown because she had like tons of weird monster chimera things to walk around the area, so it was kind of like a big family. Either way, every time I'm alone, bad things happen.
Well, I'll try my best to make sure that you're never alone.
I appreciate that. Ymir's gonna give him a hug.
Cruz will give him a dad hug.
Oh, that's a good hug. A tear almost forms in Ymir's eyes. It feels like the warmth of hugging your own father.
I miss my dad. He's a pretty nice guy.
So, why did you leave home?
Oh, that's a whole can of worms cruise. It's the Makodi Desert. If you were born, there's like this generation of people that I'm a part of, and if you were born in that generation and you had this certain mark, then you'd have to go into the capital or something and be a part of like the military. And my family was protecting me, but I was kind of a silly guy and an idiot with my sister, and I got caught one of these times stealing for the family, and I I didn't want them to get in trouble, so I ran off into the desert. So
That's quite it's quite bold of you. I
and that-
understand not wanting your destiny to be picked, and I commend you. It must have been hard leaving them.
yeah, I never got to say bye, so I hope they're okay.
You never got to say goodbye, which means that you'll have to see them again.
Yeah, I hope so.
You
I hope
two
they're okay.
share like a tender moment in the little town. People kind of passing back and forth. Um, it kind of fades once more as both you move in a direction. I'm assuming back to your home, Father Cruz, or are you guys going to continue to walk amongst the town until Billy returns?
Cruz kind of wants to wait for Velu, but if Ymir wants to go to the house, we can.
Oh, did you say that you wanted to wait?
No, that's out of character of I plan to just kind of waiting around. But if you want to have your character walk back to the house, we can.
No, Ymir's fine with waiting. too.
You both just peruse around this town of Solaria. Not a hard thing to do. Father Cruz, in an effort to remain kind and be there for you, I would imagine kind of brings you to like some of his famous like walking points, the center of town, maybe like an old place he used to live at before having his new home. Maybe some of the people were like jolly, the marketplaces,
I
food.
take him to the spot where he first saw his wife.
Oh, that's nice. And just share this like scene of like Father Cruz kind of pointing out and demonstrating like his where he stood, where he first saw her. In your mirror, you kind of run over where she was, like right here, you know.
Do I like remind you of anything? What is she like? Your wife?
Oh, she was a bold person.
Wow.
She loved music, especially the pan flute.
Wow.
Although I have to say she was a little tone deaf when playing it.
That's funny.
I loved her all the same for it.
It's a soft, like eye that looks down. Father Cruz, as fond memories return. We go back over to Carnelian. In working on this effort, I need you to make a D20 roll for me.
Boy.
I need you to add 6 to this.
Okay. Nat 1. 7.
The crack of the forge is hot as you hear Robin like pinging away at some of the metal to reinforce. Some of the rifle has to break apart. You can't use all of it. And as you're breaking parts and pieces, you hear like a notable snap as you look at Robin. She looks down at it. She just looks at like the wood frame that would hold the receiver, and it's basically been shot. And she's like, ah, shit. And she puts it to the side, tries to make another one. It's like, okay, just don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Goes again. Again, another
Can I
snap.
help her in some way?
She's like, she, you see like the arm pulses like a very like thick vein, and she just grabs onto the next one that snaps. She just chucks at the wall, and it just splatters into splinters. Ah! Focus. Can't fuck this up. We have one more try. You're gonna help them.
Yeah, I'll help.
This is the last roll. Roll with advantage on this since they're using their tools check. Wow, nat 20.
Let's fucking go.
That was great. So in this moment, a calmness returns as like she kind of flips the hair, ties it back. You see, like she grabs onto like a towel and bites it into her mouth, and just really gets into a hyper focus. You see her like aligning the receiver, throwing the flint back, pushing kind of like a carbine like receiver there. She makes like some makeshift ammunition for it, like just kind of like out of some brass. Make some brass ammunition, and she just pauses, sweat wipes off, just kind of like steps back. It's like, okay, I think you're good. You take a look. It's a pistol. I mean, it's a normal pistol, non-magical. It has like the accoutrements of whatever previous magical weapon it was, but this is just a pistol, non-magical.
Does it? I mean, it still looks like the rune rifle, just normal.
It just has like
Like,
some of the remembrances of the rune rifle. It's not magical in any way, but it is a pistol in the sake of like what weapon it is. A firearm in the same.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, you pick it up. It's well balanced. You look at down the line, the sights straight as an arrow. You look at the ammunition. The ammunition for a pistol is usually shoved through the front, and then you pull the trigger back and shoot. So it's like a one reload type of thing. It is not loaded right now, but it does take ammunition per turn to shoot. So it is a single round load. Doesn't have any of those extra features like some of your magical weapons. It's definitely, you understand why she was mentioning it was kind of a low tier thing. But it is made into a handgun that works.
Okay.
Doesn't seem wrong.
What's the ammo for it? Are you?
She just kind of like hands you over some brass shells. There's 6 brass shells that she hands over. It's like, this is just normal like gunpowder ammunition. Fires incendiary rounds as most of the older weapons do. Um, just normal ammunition. People don't make this anymore. It's really easy
why
now.
not?
Cheap, and also doesn't do as much as the cool ones, and just kind of points at all the guns that are hanging off of you. And just like those ones are more in desire, and magical items are replacing non-magical ones. My businesses are growing out.
Well, I really appreciate this. He'll take out a 12 gold and he'll go to hand it to her.
Oh no, this was something I wasn't trained on. You really shouldn't be giving me anything.
I mean, look at the condition it's in. It's
this is makeshift. This is scraps. This is tinkering. We can't pay for that. You know what?
well,
You know what? My brand's on it. You got it. It's yours. It's just you can carry me around with you. I guess that's something I like. You
okay.
see the symbol on the handle of the gun, fangs and 2 feathers kind of flying out to the sides on both sides of the fangs.
Okay.
And just kind of nods and just gives a little toothy smile. Sweat is like beading off of like their head. Their muscle was like convulsing from the frustration, and it looks like they've calmed down. They sit back down in their chair, like big plop, and just like kind of like take their hair out again, picking at their tooth, and just like, where'd you find that?
I think it was outside the town, on Cake Nest, if I remember right.
Oh, you guys took care of that too?
Yeah, just did a little side job, so
Oh,
get some more money.
that's awesome.
You just sleep out here all night?
I just sometimes you live where you work.
Yeah.
And I'm like literally like behind this place, so my house is literally through that door.
Oh, why don't you sleep inside then?
Sometimes the forge feels nice. So on a night like this, it's very nice. It's getting into the colder months.
Yeah.
And,
You mind if I sit here a while?
the eyes. I make an insight check.
Okay. 15.
15. The eyes widen. There's an eagerness that's hiding, but there's also like a pause and like a restraint. And I was like, yeah, sit in the chair, and she like looks cool for a moment, like tries to make herself look cool for a second as she straightens back, kicks back a foot, and like there's like a stool that's over on the side.
Yeah.
The fire's right there.
Yeah, Cornelia will scooch the stool over. He'll sit down and start like polishing his gun.
Yeah, sometimes I sharpen my blades too.
Yeah.
It just kind of clears the
Polishing is
mind.
kind of relaxing. Yeah, same here.
I get it. And just kind of stares off into the fire. You guys share a tender moment. We're gonna leave your scene for a second. We're gonna come back to Mimosa and Idris. How many bottles do you think have been in at this point?
I can't look at my inventory right now, but
yes.
I'm gonna say I pulled all of them out.
Fantastic.
Both of you can make Constitution saving throws. Idris with disadvantage.
Oh shit, you did.
Oh yay.
This is some hard shit.
Yes! Yes!
I failed.
I did. I got a 1.
Celebrating for a fail is definitely something.
Yes!
Never. Only when you're drinking your game, guys. This is for the audience as well. Only drinking do you want to fail con save. How about you, Melissa?
Don't be like me.
9.
9. Both you fail. A fond drink turns into fond drinks until it turns into shots, until it turns into gulps, until it turns into a spin the bottle, until it turns into almost like a chase around the room for a second as Mimosa has the last drop, kind of like rushing away with it. And Idris, you're kind of chasing down Mimosa for like the last little bit.
Come back.
Run faster.
I can't.
I think you're lying. I think you like chasing me around.
Oh, wouldn't you like to know that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well,
bo-
stop running for a second.
The bottle for a second, Mimosa's hand tips over to the side, almost like releasing the drop onto the ground. Idris, and you see this as Mimosa has lost a little bit of focus. And you like dive to go catch it.
Crash clatter.
Yeah, crash clatter. You grab onto it, Mimosa. You tear it back. It's a fun moment.
I can get more.
I just didn't want you to spill on the floor. We've already messed your house up enough.
I can clean it up later.
Later.
Not
you-
now.
Do you dance?
No. Do you?
Have you ever tried?
No.
Idris now like swats the bottle out of his hand. It is long forgotten.
You're here to make me dance. I don't know if I want to dance.
Come on, try for me.
He's gonna scratch his head, not thinking with his brain. He's just gonna shrug. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not good at it though.
It's because you've never tried.
Okay. Both of you can make a performance check. With disadvantage because you're getting a little tipsy.
$10.
Give me a second. $16.
For a moment, Idris, you are little tumble, your little twinkle toes right now. You don't know if it's the alcohol or just the stature of Mimosa. You're trying to lead Mimosa, knowing well enough that this kind of dance isn't like a lead follow. It's like a you have to do in synchronization. And as you go to move Mimosa, they're too kind of large to move. And Mimosa, there's a moment where you kind of twirl Idris by accident, but it's like a actual proper like spin, and then into a dip. And like Idris, you've been swooned, like full on like swoon back, dipped by Mimosa. And Mimosa, you're just holding like your arm there, and it's like you're kind of just in this stance of like some like romance novel where Mimosa's just holding Idris in a drunken manner.
I thought you couldn't dance.
I thought that you could.
It seems I'm a little light on my feet. She like twiddles her fingers a little bit.
Gonna stand there for a moment, just kind of staring at her.
Well, come on then, Mimosa, keep moving.
Okay. And then he's gonna just. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just moving.
And in your performance, you move with a rhythm for the first time. In your drunkenness, you find kind of a new hook, a new kind of like deftness and lightness on your toes that you typically don't feel kind of dragging around a lot. And it's only with Idris that you feel that you have to be careful. And there's a moment where you're kind of guiding Idris in this what you think is a dance, but not really. It's more like a waltz, but the waltz is very like 1-2 step, 1-2 step. Like it's very like slow and methodical. You can see the cogwheels trying to turn in Mimosa for what they're trying to do, but they keep going back to the same like rotation of clockwise, and you kind of just are standing in the center of the room turning in circles. But it's more performance than Mimosa has shown.
You know, for a barbarian, you move very well. Have you thought of counting? like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, step forward, step back, side to side.
Oh, you're saying a lot of words right now.
And it's also that moment, it just when you're counting, you kind of like hiccup for a second and like you miss your step again, with your lousy performance. Mimosa again has to catch you in a swoon once again, but this time instead of a dip where it's back, he actually catches you kind of like as a reverse pull to the side and just shoulders to shoulders you for a moment, and like that kind of like twisted with the arm motion and kind of like spins you out and just holds you there for a second.
I just think of dancing as like fighting, but not punching you in the face.
That's a great way to think about it. If it were like a fight and you were punching me in the face, I think the outcome would be a little different. I used to love to dance like this. I don't really get to do this very often anymore. Idris now like slides back in front of him and sticks an arm out. It's hard when to do dances like this alone.
You don't like dancing alone?
I used to, and then I started coupling up with people to dance with me for performances when I used to travel. I used to dance with a very good man, and I miss it. So I enjoy getting to do this.
I'm happy I made you feel better, but I still don't really know what I'm doing.
You don't have to know. Who knows anything anyway?
Well, my father typically knows a lot of things.
Besides your father, I don't know anything. I don't think you know anything. It's hard to say people really have a firm grasp. Except your father. He's lived forever, so, he's bound to know more than I am.
He's really old.
He's really old, but so smart. Do you have any siblings?
Mimosa's gonna pause. He stopped moving. He's gonna look at the ground for a moment. No. No, I don't.
No. Like none you know of, at least.
I don't think my mother ever got a chance.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Sorry, I killed him.
No, I didn't realize. Sorry, my question was insensitive.
It's something I'm used to, It's happened so long ago. I think about it less.
But that doesn't mean it's not still hurtful. It could be
Well, also,
something.
he's gonna stop dancing and he's just gonna sit down on the couch.
Idris is now gonna stand over him because she's drunk and she's just gonna look at him. Is there anything I can do for you?
I don't know. I still dream about her. Do you ever dream about people?
I do. Mostly my father. I dream about him a lot, which is weird.
Do you ever get scared of him?
Scared of my dad?
In your dreams?
No, but I get lonely. It's most of my dreams revolving him. He is there, and then I'm trying to find him.
I'm usually running away.
Yeah?
He's gonna wipe his face.
Idris stumbles around the room looking for a towel.
Yeah, you guys you find everything you need the house. You've been here long enough to find what you need. Find a towel, bring it over.
Hey, she hands the
It's
towel
my
over.
fault.
It's your fault.
It is my fault.
What is?
If I had never been born, I'm pretty sure my mother would be still alive. It's my fault.
Forgive me. I'm going to ask another uncomfortable question, but is it your birth mother or like Father Cruz's wife that you considered a mother?
No, birth mother.
Birth
I
mo-
never met my father's wife.
Oh, I see. So it's your fault that your mother's gone. Was there Sorry, you can stop me if I'm talking too much. I get like this, you know. But how long were you with her?
Well, let's just gonna just look at his hands and start counting his fingers. Not long. 8 years?
That's long enough. You were with her for 8 years and then she was gone? Is that correct?
But mostly is that, like, his face, there's gonna be, like, fear.
Idris taps a hand on his shoulder and she holds out one of her other free hands. She goes, "It's okay. I'm here. You don't have to be afraid to talk about this. It's normal to process grief and trauma in this way. Don't feel afraid."
I don't want you to think of me differently.
Mimosa, you danced with me drunk in your house after I dragged your couch outside. You protected me from those shadow demons earlier. I can't think of you different, even if you tried. I'm here for you. Demons and all.
You promise not to say anything. Not.
She sticks a pinky out. Pinky promise.
Okay. He's gonna lock his pinky with hers.
You guys
My
share
mother.
this moment for a second, and you guys kind of hear, not a knock, but like a graceful stroll by the door. As for a moment, you kind of hear outside of Father Cruz kind of yapping to Ymir, and this is the moment right now where Father Cruz, you're explaining to Ymir where, like, you met your wife, and it's like kind of near your house, like part of the reason why you have the house where it was, and like you're kind of like pointing it out to him, and you guys are just kind of walking around the town, and you guys hear Ymir and Father Cruz outside talking, just a little bit beyond the house.
In a moment of, like, drunken panic, he's just gonna grab Idris and just, like, throw her on the other side of the couch.
Idris is gonna rub
Like
the
embarrassed
hip that
teenagers in the house alone. What are you doing, Step Idris?
Ow. Why did you do that?
I don't know, I didn't. They coming inside.
Huh?
There's a moment of chatter. You hear Ymir's voice kind of shouting out one last time to Father Cruz, and like kind of there's like a little shout from beyond. Is there anything that Mimosa and Idris hear from Father Cruz or Idris, like kind of from beyond the wall of their home before they walk away once again?
You mean Ymir?
Yeah, Ymir and Ymir and Father Cruz.
And so I was right here, Ymir, when I proposed to my wife for the first time, and she said no.
She's hilarious. Why would she do that?
She wanted a real commitment.
You could give that?
Oh, I kept asking and asking, and well, she eventually said yes when I gave her the commitment she wanted. And I
Wow.
wouldn't change anything about that.
Yeah, no, she sounds great. I like her. I never met her, but I would have liked to meet her.
I think she would have liked you too.
And there's like a stroll off of like from where this point was, and like your Father Cruz leads to the next destination of interest, maybe. Um, next stop on the tour type of scenario. You guys are left to your piece again.
Oh. Oh, okay. They're gone.
Yeah, I can hear.
Can you? Oh, okay.
Do you want to talk in your room or somewhere that's a little more private, not like so communal?
He's gonna stare at her for a moment before standing up. Okay.
I'm not trying to twist your arm. If you want to stop talking about this, I'm not going to force you.
No, I need to talk about it.
By all means.
You both step into Mimosa's room. We cut to Velu. With a Zap? You
He's
here with
dead.
us? Zap, you dead? You live? Going once. Going twice.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm
I was
here.
gonna say
I'm
it.
here.
I was gonna
I'm
do
here.
it.
Give me 30 seconds to recuperate.
No worries. I'll narrate. And Velu's like we're kind of walking step forward to follow Nathaniel. Nathaniel finds like a spot like kind of close to the tavern, but looks like he pays a few gold to somebody for just kind of a night stay. Hard to say no to someone that well. And you actually take notice that the person who's saying yes is Sal. Sal is like nodding and just like, yeah, I got room. You don't, yeah, you can get it. I got space. I got space. And it's like inviting him in. He's like ducking into the door, being so large, just like tucking into it. Velu, you are following behind in that moment, and you see that Nathaniel kind of like steps inside, puts some stuff like takes dons off his armor, wearing his common clothes, steps out of the house, and kind of like just waits for you to approach.
Okay.
And yeah, he just kind of stands there and just arms are crossed, leaning against the wall for a moment, just head down in thought.
Belu's gonna approach where he's at, and he's gonna ask, so what you want to talk about?
Well, come to reason about your absence.
Bye. Velu turns around.
Wait.
Starts walking. Velu stops.
You know, it's fruitless to walk away when I know where you are. As you know where I am, and you know well enough, if we do not have this conversation, I will still continue to follow, as I always do.
Okay.
We must talk about this. It's been 2 years. A little bit more than
2
that.
years. Damn.
Time has gone by and you have changed. For better or worse, I do not know.
They could wait a little bit longer.
Look, if this is about what's going on amongst the realm, it has nothing to do with you. However, you being away from home makes it all the more dangerous. It's okay that you want to see the world. Unchaperoned, I will not have it. You taking your leave of absence during your time was distasteful to your king and queen. We can talk
Belu
more.
shrugs.
I have some messages from your mother, and I have some messages from your father, and I wish to share with those plainly. As you are aware, the Epoch Festival, the Twilight Ball, they've invited you
I don't want to
twice.
hear this. I don't want to hear this anymore.
You-
Can we talk about something else?
Sure.
Before we talk about what you want to talk about, let's talk about the thing that I told you about.
Right.
Remember the thing where someone said I might have been, well, I think it might have been racist. You might laugh. I might be mad.
Yeah, what did you say?
Okay. So I didn't mean to say this.
Just tell me what you said, Velu. Like, you're so
But-
dramatic about this.
I said it to Tabaxi and to Leonin. I told them, I think I use cat litter to them.
Okay, hold on. He's like, he puts his hand, he uncrosses his arm, put his hands to his temples, and he's like, he just kind of rubs it slowly. It's like, so, in the context of what?
Okay.
Were you in jolly
Listen.
terms with these people?
No.
And you said it in a negative connotation?
No, I didn't mean it in a negative connotation.
How is it
What I meant to
positive?
say- what I meant to say was cat nip.
I don't think that's much better if it doesn't have any pronounced, like, what is... anyways,
I didn't mean it.
I know you didn't mean it. Of course you didn't mean it. Look at you. You don't know anything about that culture.
Oh.
And that's not even a dig at you. I don't mean to sully your name, but I do wish to make mention that you may have heard me say something of that nature and thought it was okay. Now, I beg your
Brother
pardon.
scratches his head.
I think what you have said is bad, and probably in the worst way. However, I don't believe that you said it in a vulgarity of your... kind of like looks at you in your form of whatever this is. But maybe this is the character you play. So it's up to you.
No, it's not.
Then you should apologize.
Okay, I was gonna do that, but
Why haven't you done so?
Because I haven't been there. Because
So-
they don't.
What you have said has
Well-
hurt more than one person, and it's okay that you
Yes.
have hurt somebody. But if you have mistaken something and you have taken pride instead of pity, then you have already failed twice. These are the lessons that you would learn if you were still home. It has not cost me my friendships or my patronage. I am still at your side, though you make remarks that would unbecome me.
Okay.
You are forgiven on my side. However, I would suggest refraining from dehumanizing your allies.
I didn't mean to.
It would be the equivalency of, if you may, something along the nature of a half-life, or calling a human something of a tone and change of skin. There's something like that in the world, right? Still?
Brother shrugs.
Maybe humans have gotten over themselves, but humans are the most vindictive of most races, historically. But they're also the first of many. Most of the time they hold themselves to the highest standards and seem to deem others as unworthy. So most times, most other races pin that as a pompousness to the trait. Taking the form of a human and saying what you have said has created a vision for you.
Racist.
In a way. Speciest, but close enough.
Oh. Okay. Okay, now you can proceed on with whatever the fuck you have. No, sorry, that's rude. Whatever
Look,
is going on.
I know
with,
you're bothered
you
by
know,
all of this, and this is a lot. Would we step inside?
Okay.
I don't know,
Velu,
not know who this person is inside, by the way. They seem erratic and probably never going to remember what I say. But that's
maybe
up to
we
you.
should knock them out, or maybe we should
Knock
go
them?
somewhere else.
Velu, what are you talking about? Why would we knock
I
anybody
don't
out? This is an
know.
innocent civilian.
Maybe
We
we
can just
should walk
ask.
somewhere else.
We can just ask them to leave potentially, but I mean, sure, we can walk somewhere else. On yours. After you.
No, let's just go inside because I like the house.
Okay. Walks inside. Excuse me, Salaman, sir. Yeah. You see, it's Sal's house. He's just like, oh, hey, you're Velu.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
you seem Ymir?
Velu's left eye twitches.
You know, just like, is he still around in Solaria? Did he leave or?
No, I think he actually left. Actually.
Oh. Yeah. Probably busy. I'm gonna go. He's just like he steps outside. He's like, well, that was very easy. I don't know how you did that. Anyways, messy house, but we'll do for the night.
No, it was so messy, but it'll be fine.
Anyways, in some privacy.
Before you speak, Velu's gonna make like a little perception check
Look around. Make a perception check.
to make sure that like no one's around or.
Mhm.
Hold on. I have to pull up my character sheet on my iPad. Okay. Where's the chat to roll? Oh.
Excuse me. Burped a little bit.
It's gonna be a nat. Just kidding. 14.
14. With the door closed, there's no real windows to peer in. You're not sure about the sound, so maybe visual-wise, you feel fine.
Okay. Nathaniel, do you think anyone is?
I've scoped the
Watching.
area. If anybody's peering into here, they'll have to peer real hard. And I have a perceptive
Okay.
ear.
Okay. Well, you can say what you need to say.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, good analysis. Your father sends word, as he does. Beckons your return to home. Commands it, actually. Upon your sight of you, I am to make report of where you are and who you are acquainted with. Now, I don't have to do this in a timed manner, knowing that my people, my fellow comrades are gone, and I have sustained casualties. I have not sent this report as well. So I am delayed in time. So you have some time to make your reparations with the people you are around and determine your best course of action in that nature. And that is from your father. He does not send you kind words.
Of course he doesn't.
Your mother sends you a message. Sent you a couple messages via sending scroll, but I see that you have not received, given your elusive nature. She misses you. So does your brother. They're doing fine. He's taken up fencing.
Ooh.
And it is of that time when dueling is of most importance in his age. It is the first shines of heroicness and bravery, as you once did before, and it reminded me a little bit of that time. But your mother sends kind words and love. She hopes to see you again, and she trusts that you make the right decisions.
Okay.
Those are the first things. Now I have questions, being your faithful comrade over the years. In the moment of your escape of the Kingdom of Genesis, you left no traces, as you do. You did a good job. You're elusive, sneaky, and you have managed to not bat the eye of many, especially taking up on the East, what no one would expect. But you are a rogue of your kingdom, and people have gained a distaste of the house you fall under. It has raised questions of intention, of rule, who is next to come.
Oh. Okay.
It is not a matter of importance more than it is a matter of duty. I'm not here to take you back. I'm here to bring a balance of peace across the realm, if you understand what I'm saying. Your absence has caused more than harrowing times in the Kingdom of Genesis, though it has brought suspicion of who will be the next. Your father grows old. Your mother grows old. And I remain here at your side. Your decisions are yours to make. Whether you wish to take those responsibilities or not is not up to you. You have responsibilities of your home and of your people. Whether you become a lord, whether you rise to nobility and a higher stature, or if you take your house name. It is what you were born to be.
You know,
don't
you
want
kind
you
of
to throw
sound
that
like my
away.
father.
Though I may speak the words of His Majesty, I do speak from a place of pure respect.
Well, I already told you, you don't have to around me.
That is not how this works. Not after 2 years do you... He stops. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Say it. Velu begins to get irritated.
I have nothing else to say. I only manage that you come back to the Kingdom of Genesis and return to your position before things spiral out of hand. I will make my report
Mm-hmm.
with or without you. What is your question?
Has, His Majesty been giving you a hard time?
No. But
Are you answering honestly?
He hasn't been giving myself a hard time, if that is what you're asking. There are the House Richmont, of where my station comes from in this past, who has raised to a excellent mark, being a knight of the Hex Valis. They have been pressured, but we steadfast, as we know our bounds and we know our sigil. Your father, the king, he demands respect. And he believes it disrespectful for me to not accomplish what I am assigned to do.
So, what has he been doing?
I pushed off as long as I could, Velo. You know I know where you are.
Velu sighs. I guess I might have to go back. Then.
Perhaps. However, I see what you're doing here, and I may speak candid if I may. If you'll allow me.
Sure. Yes.
He
I told you.
he cracks his knuckles. Just starts cracking them a bit. I necessarily have not found a rogue changeling. I have just found someone of a stature and form that is similar.
Mm-hmm.
And you have saved me. And I owe you.
Why wouldn't I save you?
It's not what I'm asking. What I am asking is, in the effort of a stranger saving me, I am to return a favor of my house and its nobility and claim. Velu, you go on your adventures and journeys, but the fall, the moment you take that first breath, I will be there.
Sidebar. When's fall?
He's make an insight check actually.
Okay. Inside check. It's gonna be a not one.
Not one. You're not sure, but he has like a indication of like staring kind of where you took like your sword wound at and just looking at that. He just looks again. He's like, but we must make a pact to do this. We are in privacy, and I am not being scryed upon. I have long been past divination in your house, for he would know. But you must make a pact with me now, Velu, that you must return for the Twilight Ball. This upcoming epoch.
I have to?
If you do not,
Wait.
then I will come to fetch you. I can only buy you more time in search of the East, and I can also use this Prince Way as an excuse that my men have fallen and I need more, putting me back on my track. I'm buying you more
Go to the
time.
ball.
I am begging you, Velu. This is something you must return to. Your appearance at this next eve, this next twilight, it is pivotal. There will be decisions made if another year passes and your brother comes of age. They will not think him responsible. They will not think of him ready to rule. And if your father passes, who knows what house takes the next? It could be House Blazon, House Levison, House Tanks, Thorn. All of them in wits with each other, worried about who's going to take the crown. We know our place.
Fine.
Do me
I'll make the
this.
pact.
And he puts his hand out.
I put my hand out too.
You grab onto each other. The bond that you guys share, the same bond tethered between you, your summoning brand glows as in unison. Once you guys have grabbed one another, they bond for another time and passes between the two of you. Thoughts of pure and truth have passed through, and like as it happens, the bond seals and pulls away. We are bound by life. It is my effort to make sure that you are protected anywhere you go, and you have not fallen, and I will not let you. And he kind of like stands up for a second, brushes himself off. You do not have to leave your friends. I've seen how they treat you, and they care for you deeply. And I would not take you away from your adventures either, because this is good for you. I see what it's doing. However, I did need to find you to make sure you were okay.
Velu doesn't say a single word, and just goes up to him and hugs him very tightly.
He just slowly kind of like pulls you in for a second, and just it turns from like an awkward hug to a natural warm embrace of like a brother.
And then Velu, while like hugging him, He's gonna say, "Thank you. I'm fine, but you don't have to worry. But yes, I will." Velu steps back from him. I will go to the ball during fall. First day of fall? Is that what you said?
During the phase of Epoch, the Twilight Ball.
Yes,
It is
I
of the
will go to that.
next phase after Neo. You are familiar with this. You've attended many of them as a child. You know the time. Don't play coy with me.
It's been like 2 years, so I'm sorry.
You know you hated them.
I do.
You will be expected to dress.
What if I just show up like a bum?
And you know what happens if you show up without dress.
Fine.
Nods. I'll make my leave in the morning for Halavar and use their planar portal to get my men back. But whatever your journey remains from here, we diverge. But I did need to check you. And I thank you for giving me the time. You have saved me, and I will save you this time. And I owe you that much. If there is not anything from you, I will make my night.
Here?
Yes, I have paid the men.
At this house?
I have paid the men. Yes, I am going to be staying here.
Okay. Well, have a good night. Don't leave without saying bye.
I will not.
And I'll see you in the morning. And Velu leaves.
As you wish, fellow. You leave. We're going to return back to some other conversations that have been going on in the realm. Carnelian, we're going to hit you up one more time, and then we're going to have this momentary pause for the story effort of it all. Carnelian, you've been kind of kicking back with the blacksmith, kind of sharing some few laughter, some stories. She starts like going into another detail. It's like, so when I came from Borgothi, there's this dude, and like there's a small like goblin that was like kind of chasing us after the whole way into the town, and as we turned around they stared at me and they're like, oh, I thought you were my big sister. And I was like, it didn't make much sense. I was huge and they were small, and it was funny, and they became a good friend of mine. They passed away 2 years ago. I'm sorry.
That's a funny story.
It was funny because like they don't live very long, goblins and all that, and like the moment that they were coming to is like I just felt kind of nice. It was like a big sister moment. I don't know if you know anything about that.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big sister, so
No siblings, nothing.
no, I don't have any siblings.
No, man, it's different. It must be nice being an only child. Gotta live up to expectations of the others,
Cornelio kind of like I'll say he'll still have his like gun that she made, still like polishing it, perfecting it in every little way, kind of like just inspecting it a ton, trying to fully understand it and whatnot, even though it's pretty simplistic compared to his other guns. But after polishing, he'll stop for a second, and then after her saying only child, and then he'll keep polishing, and he'll be like, yeah, only child's not too bad.
I probably would have liked it too. I mean, I don't know. My mom and my dad were never really good to each other growing up, but leads you to tougher times. You do what you gotta do. And the old man knew what he was doing, but that bitch got away. Yeah, I miss him.
Yeah. You just lived with them most of your life and then moved out, or?
Yeah. I mean, they kind of kick us out early, being a half orc and all. Most of us kind of leave at 12 or so. I left a little later because I was a little bit of a wreck. But my brother helped me, and it was good.
Yeah, it looks like a nice
Yeah, I don't know
place
where
you got
he's
over
at
here.
now. He's doing off his own warrior thing. For all I know, he's like out in the province or something. He was all hellbent about the king being killed, like out in the past, and he heard like stories of war, and that's kind of just a trait of all half orcs. We all root in some type of war of some kind. It's
Yeah,
just a stereotype.
yeah. Stereotypes are not fun to deal with.
Yeah, you hear them all the time, tusk tooth, like crop ear. You hear like big like for some reason everybody thinks I'm gonna smash them and like just like hurt them sometimes when they first meet me.
Oh,
Like it's just the impressions suck,
yeah. First impressions are really hard.
especially when you look the way I do.
What do you mean?
I mean, look at me. I'm like the big giant freak, but the good one. I'm good at something. I'm useful. Fire kind of
Uh,
crackles.
I wouldn't say you're a freak, but yeah, you definitely have a nice job here with a nice home,
Yeah.
safe area with a place to be able to sleep outside even and not really worry about people stealing.
The only reason I'm here is because they won't let me any other places. Like every time I go somewhere and try to make it big, Oracle, I tried them all. It's never.
Man, Oracle's not great.
Yeah, it's not. But this place seemed to make a home. It makes a home for everybody somehow. It's welcoming, and yeah. Hopefully you've had a pleasant experience here. I mean, hate to see you all make it out of here sad. I mean, everybody who comes here always is just so happy.
Mhm. It's a pretty, I mean, nice place. It has purpose to it, I guess.
Yeah. She kind of like sits back up and sits straight and kind of like looks into the fire for a second and just like kind of leans like elbows on to the knees and staring into it a bit. Hair kind of like pulls the hair down, just kind of like pulls it like kind of like out of the face again, just looks. When my blacksmithing days are done, I'd like to just go somewhere and just like be out there, just
Yeah.
through the fields, just lost. I just want to get lost.
And why not now?
I don't know. I guess because this is my home right now. I mean, but maybe when I get older and have some type of dying disease, like so that way no one can find me.
Yeah, but if you wait too long, then it's not gonna be easy to traverse.
True. I guess I really didn't think about that.
Um,
This was a nice thought.
yeah. He'll kind of be done polishing his gun and whatnot, and then he'll holster it onto another part of his belt.
Well, enough about me. You come in here polishing your gun like that, like you're stroking your dick. What do you want? You're not here just to fix your gun.
Nah. Out of character, you got me fucking stunned right now. I just want to say that. you like okay, in character.
Keep it together.
Sorry.
Just kind of smiles for a second. I'm just like, don't worry about it. What do you want? You're here for a reason.
I don't want to go back to the place that I was.
What, you fuck up?
No, well, it was me, but like not really. I guess it was me. It was something I couldn't really control, but that place has seemed to overwhelm me with memories, so I'm just going to avoid that place. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind if I could crash here for the night.
I do mind, actually, but not in the way that makes you not welcome.
What do you mean?
Just kind of like looks at you for a second. Just kind of looks around. Looks back at you for a second. If you need to stay somewhere, it's fine. You can stay here. However, I don't think I'd be able to contain myself.
What do you?
Make an insight check.
Yo, 12
12.
is what I got. Yeah.
I mean, you don't know if you're like. I think this insight is also you to yourself and also to her, and it's like the insight to her is like very like clear as day, like what that means. But to you, it's like, am I into this? And you're like you're having like a moment of like panic between like, is this just the emotions that I'm feeling, or is this like actually like real? And you're like, for a moment, it like kind of catches your gulp in your throat, and that shows. And she's like,
Right.
don't worry, it's not that bad. Actually,
How tall is she?
like 6 foot something.
I'm still like 4 foot. By the way,
I
just
know.
for everyone to like.
And she knows.
Oh God.
She just like gets up, kind of walks over to you, and just leans in.
Fuck. I don't know what to do.
Make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
That's fine. Ten.
You fail as she puts an arm posting on the wall behind you where the bench you're sitting across the wall is. The gun falls to the floor.
Oh, I thought I hosted it.
Yeah, so that happens.
Okay.
And then she kind of like gives you like this, like, it's almost intimidating, but it's also like kind of pushing you a little bit back a little bit, and it invades your bubble, but your dexterity saving throw doesn't allow you to escape very easily.
Can I
it's intentional.
swap positions?
Yes. As the dex fails, you manage to instead reversal, and we fade to black.
Huge. All right.
And that's where we're gonna stop for now.
Crazy. Bro, Karn fucks Ymir. Karn fucks canonically. It's
Bruh.
canon.
Oh my god.
It's canon, chat.
She was the top.
Maybe
I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Master after this.
Bro. And
she
then
was-
Vilu
yeah.
being jealous, bro. Oh my god.
So I was like fanning
So
myself. Like,
cheesy.
oh my god, Vilu.
Oh my god.
I sent a picture of what Nathaniel looks like into the fan art, but yeah, there's a conglomeration of things going on as you guys all have your separate moments again. When we return from our break, we're gonna come back to everybody returning in their own manners of whatever time has already passed. I'll say, for the sake of like purposes of finishing out what you guys are doing, we will all return after the events of Father Cruz and Ymir walking the town, Velu having their conversation, Idris and Mimosa sharing their story, which we'll jump into immediately returning, and then Carnelian's Yoo-hoo time. So, and from that, I'll see you guys back at, I guess, 10 minutes pass. Does that sound cool?
Yep.
All right. Deafen and have a good time. delicious. Who we got?
I'm here, but I'm
Hello.
eating.
I also was eating. I have popcorn chicken. It's great.
I made fried rice earlier, and it is so yummy.
I'm just here to be here, you know. Life is nice.
Was hanging. I am very glad that Cat and Potato, you both are making appearances. I appreciate your guys' dedication to the craft.
Mhm.
I think it's so sad that Kat didn't even appear at all this D&D session. I mean,
Yeah,
we
I
didn't even
mean-
join.
It is what it is, you know.
What a loser, honestly.
When
Bro,
I saw
halfway-
Emma in the chat, like in the VC, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. She joined up." And then I heard Katie start talking. I was like, "What the fuck?"
You know, I was really confused at the beginning because I didn't get like the debrief.
Yeah.
And I'm just hearing, I'm like, I was playing like a Roblox game before this, and I'm still like, I was doing it, and I just hear Katie talking. I'm like, what is going on here? Is Discord not updating? I don't see Father Cruz on here.
They got a voice changer, for sure.
Guys, I'm supposed to pass the bottle.
Spin the bottle.
Honestly, spot on.
I want to do a one. Oh. I want to do a one shot where we all play each other's characters.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be
Who would
interesting.
swap with who?
I don't know, like we just spin a wheel, so it's
Oh,
not like by.
I was over here thinking like it's Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday, like in session, would be pretty.
Freaky
crazy,
Friday
though.
and
That would be
session would
really
be
fun,
Like in the
actually.
campaign would be insane.
Oh, God.
I take someone's like sheet and I have to like play as them for a little bit because I don't know, some curse happened. It was fucking crazy.
All right.
They-
Who am I waiting on? I think everybody's here.
Is Zap here?
Zap's probably here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zap doesn't like
He's not
talking.
responding. That means he's definitely here.
He says, "I am."
Am.
Am.
I am. Ooh.
But who are
Charades?
you, Zach?
Eating. Okay.
Woohoo!
Well, in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back in, and it's gonna be starting with Mimosa and Idris and their scene, while other spicy things are going on around you.
Oh my god.
Wow. Anyways,
Wow.
Wow.
Carnelian gets a big fat kiss for sure. Mwah. Anyways, going back to a scene. Shifting back to Father Cruz's home, the door closes in Mimosa's room as Idris and Mimosa share a drunken stupor into the room together, and Mimosa carries about them some stoic, I don't know if it's sadness or just kind of like catching up with themselves. You can describe it as you will.
He's gonna sit down on his bed, put his head in his hands. And his body's shaking a little bit.
Idris immediately like kind of responds in kind, and sits, like where that chair is in his room. She kind of like pulls it forward just a little bit to sit like almost knee to knee with him, but facing him.
Do you think I'm a monster?
You, a monster?
Me.
No. Why?
I almost killed you.
Sweet pea.
And I almost killed Carnelian.
You did fracture a couple of his ribs, yeah. No, I don't. You have a lot of baggage, and that goes the same for everybody. We barely know each other as it is. But, everyone is able to kind of deal with their baggage in a certain way. I've been killed, or almost killed, dozens of times. This is nothing new. This, she gestures, new. But me almost dying, nothing new.
He's gonna wipe his face and look at her. I don't know how to say. Damn it.
How about you take it slow?
This isn't the first time, obviously, that this has happened.
Well, I'm assuming it isn't, based on the appearance of your basement, but it's. I'm sure this is a traumatic time for you each time it happens.
Today, those shadows and the lights were flickering, and they went out. We're stuck in my living room, and I thought I was gonna kill everybody. Before we realized that it wasn't real, I thought I was gonna kill everybody.
Yet you protected me. You thought you were going to kill everybody, and yet you still protected me. A monster wouldn't do that.
But if it came out, it wouldn't protect you.
But that isn't really you, is it? It's just a part of you.
A part of me is it.
Is that what you consider it?
I don't know. I see people's faces, people I've hurt worse, and it feels like it's my fault. I feel like I'm scared all the time. I feel like I'm gonna end up killing my father.
You can be afraid. That's Mimosa, that is so normal to be afraid. I don't think everyone has to be brave and lion-hearted every single time. This is scary. It's for you, it's something that feels almost, I'm assuming, involuntary. It's not like you are commanding it to kill everybody in sight. It takes over you, and what can you do?
Mimosa. Two questions. One, are you nearby light in this room? Is it like bright in this room?
Oh, the lights are always on in this room.
For sure. Like permanent light residence in this room, very bright. Second question. Does Mimosa know what they look like when they are do you think Mimosa knows what it looks like? Like visually, or do you think Mimosa just has premonitions of just what their POV is when things are happening?
He knows it through descriptions of Cruz. And sometimes he'll just see the arms while he's in its point of view.
In this remembrance of stories and things that have passed, a lot of historical memory comes back. Idris is able to help you tap into that if you so desire. I'll allow Mimosa for you to make history checks with advantage to try to remember anything in regards to the time of when this started, anything in relation to how it could come to be. I'll allow that. If this is just more of a moment of sharing, you can use that also as an opportunity of learning. So I'll just put that out there. At this time, Mimosa and Idris, both of you have advantage on history checks regarding that time frame for Mimosa, because it's just unlocking a little bit of that potential.
Yippee!
Just for your
Yahoo!
awareness.
$13.
Okay. There's a lot of it's the same dream, Mimosa. That winter wood, the yelling and screaming of a name in the distance, you rushing to help, but somehow also chasing something at the same time, and you're not sure whether to run or to stop. Being claustrophobic is a big portion of like a lot of the fear that drowns you. Being too close to people who you feel as though you'll hurt. Not the problem of being surrounded, but too many casualties is what you've always been worried about. And in with Mimosa being close to you, you don't feel that way right now. Idris has kind of unlocked kind of like a vulnerability in this moment, kind of like opening that up, but you seem to envision a little bit more vivid, like lucidly of like those dreams, and in tethering that, you start to recover a little bit more memory from those moments. Some of the voices you hear are familiar, but some of them are not. As you start to remember like shadowy whispers in your mind, like things that beckon you to stay, that you're safe, that no one could hurt you, but it all in the meanwhile, things bad happening around you. And I think you just have these like flashes. It doesn't trigger anything for you, but it just is helping unlock some of that historical memory for you. And I think it feels confident that you could share with Idris as much as you would like about any of the history that you deem remember.
He's gonna like lift his head and look in her eyes for a moment. I'm afraid I'm just scared, Idris. I feel like the more I linger around, the higher the chance I am gonna do it again.
And to take me for a moment, Idris is gonna sit up and scoot a little closer to the edge of the chair, kind of where she's like leaning, like staring at him. How did this all happen? Do you remember any of that?
Melissa's gonna frown and like wipe his eyes. My mother was still alive.
Right.
And she was scared. She was scared of something coming.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to talk to this lady.
Mm-hmm.
She was asking for help. And then for a moment, I can't remember much, but we're back home. And she was turning lights out. People were yelling outside the house. And she was blowing out the torches, hoping that maybe they wouldn't find us.
Mm-hmm.
But it got too dark.
And it came out.
It did.
And I take it your mother was a victim?
She was the first. Sometimes I remembered the grip she had around my throat. He's gonna grab his throat. When she was trying to fight for herself.
And that's... Wow. No, I'm so sorry.
And his son kills their own mother.
It's not like you wanted to, Mimosa. She's gonna lean forward and kind of remove his hand from his own throat, just in a gentle manner. That is a lot of power for a child to wield. That's... Even now, I feel like you don't have that much control over it.
I don't have any.
No control. No control of the situation. It was not your fault that that happened.
Mimosa, make a history check with advantage.
"13 again."
13 again. Not much more information than what you already know. However, in the grasping of your throat, it's the voices, those little whispers of "you'll be okay, everything's fine, you'll be safe," transcends its like calming voice to something more cackly, something more like lurking and deceiving, and you start to like think about like the depth of the lucidity of those dreams, and like you wonder if like the voice that matches in that past, the lady, the help, you kind of like start like just you notice that like Mimosa's eye just kind of like closes and like tenses for a second, as like they have like kind of like a twitch in a second, not in like showing their like shadowy like form or like ichor looking down their eyes, but in a twitch of like pain, of like the neck tensing and like something bad being remembered or not forgotten. You see that there's something that can't unlock, and Mimosa is like having a hard time trying to decipher a memory. Like you can get this with an Arcana check if you like, and I can let you know what's happening.
I would love to. 21.
21. Mimosa's dealing with something that is arcane in nature. You see it in the eye. The same trait of like tensing and twisting is like almost like making a psychic type of like power and ability to kind of resistance against it. But instead of resistance, you see Mimosa tapped into something they weren't supposed to, and then now is being basically flexed out of it. Like it's like his brain is being forced away from whatever he's thinking about.
You mentioned this woman helped you. What exactly did she do?
I don't know. I
Alright,
can't remember.
better question. Where?
Up north.
Up north. Do you have a village name or anything of the sort like that? Is it on the eastern continent or the western?
West.
Western continent up north. And that's where you're from, correct? Or where this woman might be?
She might still be there. I don't know.
Mimosa, again, that tension of like head kind of like almost like a vein pops like from the side of your neck. You feel this pain. This is actually like a physical like tenseness, and you kind of grab onto the side of your neck as if someone was pressing into it with their fist. And you like just like grab onto it like kind of instinctually, and as you kind of grab on, the thought and premonition of like a location escapes your mind again.
I don't know.
You look like you're in pain.
I
Do you want to lay down?
I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't. I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, you don't apologize for talking about this. This is a lot. And it's hard for you to even carry it alone. Let alone just between you and your father. we won't talk about this anymore, since, it looks like it's physically paining you, but I'm here.
Almost just gonna have like this face of like the feet. As he just like leans back on his bed.
Idris rises from the chair and she kind of taps his shoulder. Lay down.
He's gonna lay down all the way.
Idris is going to genuinely tuck him into bed.
Yep, not hard to do. He's a big boy.
Do you want me to stay with you?
He's gonna stare at her for a moment. If you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Usually Crew's father would, but I don't know where he is and I don't want to bother him.
No, I'll stay with you.
I'm
So-
sorry.
Mimosa, I will punch you in the face if you apologize one more time.
There is a small smile. I don't think your punches will do much.
My claws hurt.
I have thick skin.
I'm sure you do. Well, just know I will hurt you if you apologize one more time. You don't need to.
Mimosa's actively fighting back not to say sorry again.
make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Sorry. It was a 3.
Idris immediately pinches his face. Hard. Yeah. Did that hurt?
Not really.
Oh, well, let me try harder.
No.
There's a passing of giggle, and for a moment it's calm as both of you kind of lay down for a second, and eventually I think sleep catches you both for a moment as the alcohol does a wear and tear on the eyes as a long day has passed, and you both find rest. Cornelian also finds rest wherever he may be for the night. Ymir and Velu and Father Cruz. Velu, you're the first to return back to Father Cruz's home if you do go back to there. And as you kind of approach towards the home, you enter the room. You see no one available immediately, and you see the room open where you typically stay.
I guess I'll go in there and just I'll probably start reading
Yeah.
some books.
Whatever you pick up, you
While I
read.
wait.
Yeah. Doors still open, I imagine, or
Yeah.
okay. Bella, you're inside reading a book. Ymir, Father Cruz, both of you come back to the home after a walk. You guys wait for Velu for a second, and you kind of catch him on the walk. You see that he's walking to find you, and you guys are trying to catch up to him. It's just a little bit of too much of a vocal distance for you to yell for each other. You see Velu walk inside, and as soon as Velu walks in, starts to crack open the book for the first time. You two follow inside. You three are basically the only ones awake in this moment in the home.
And
There's a
Idris and
there's a cracked door in Mimosa's room, and you see Mimosa and Idris both laying on the bed together, just asleep. The lights on. It's hard. You can see into the room a little bit fine. It's not completely closed door.
Cornelian's nowhere to be seen.
Cornelian's not here now.
look over at Vila and Cruz. I want to wake them up and ask, because I'm worried about him.
Can't
But
you use your crystal? How
I'm
they
not
gonna-
using it tonight. It'll break. I can't. But imagine if I did, guys.
I
That'd be
literally
crazy,
am
though.
over here holding my chest. I'm like, thank God it broke. Oh my
Bro.
God.
Bro,
Dude, oh my god.
I literally like
bro.
I
Just him
cringed.
straight. Just him
Ugh.
straight going at it. That'd be crazy. But no. Yes, I can't do it tonight. I am worried about it, and it hopefully will recharge once I give it some time. But for now, I can't do anything, or I'll risk my research.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Mm,
So,
Research.
I think we
Oh.
should let them rest. They've been through enough today.
yeah. Ymir's gonna take out his wand and show Velu. So, I didn't get to tell you. I am trying to work on a new surge with this new amplifier. And this sapphire gives me either divination or necromancy, but I'm sort of working more on divination. When I say a name, I am able to see what happens to that person. So I used it on you to figure out where you were, but I couldn't figure out where you were. It only really gives me like a small view of things. But it
Can I-
also allows me to cast spells without having to see where that person is.
Can I hold in my hand?
Sure.
I mean, can I, how, you know what I mean? How to
Ymir
put it,
hands
going.
it over, but you see him as he hands it over. There's some sort of like you feel, you get a sense that he is possessive, and he's never been possessive before to you. Like,
Valu takes notice of that and make sure that he doesn't break it. Can Valu make an Arcana check on this item?
Sure. You can.
Or identify. Can you cast identify?
You want to cast identify? That's completely different. That's gonna be a whole ritual.
Ooh,
That'll take some time.
10
I'll
minutes.
do,
Yeah,
That's fine.
It's a 10-minute wait if you want him to. Like, you just see he starts to cast a spell on your amplifier.
actually, I don't have identified. I already used it. Never mind.
No, if you. Oh wait, are you
You're-
Fey touched?
Yeah, Fate touched.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
you should be
just-
able to
yeah,
do ritual.
You're good.
Oh yeah, okay.
You're a
Yeah,
wizard.
let's
You can do rituals whenever you want, my dog.
I'll do identify.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang, bro.
Bruh. Sick.
My dog, you're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Belu.
Oh, wizard.
Oh, what?
While you're doing it, Ymir's gonna sit on the couch but stare at you.
Yeah, he's full ritual casting. You see like small like moten fragments kind of floating around Velu in circulation of his identify. There is actual kind of font of what the identify like looks like. It's similar in nature to almost like text, kind of runes, like kind of filling the air in front of Velu and like translating from whatever the magic that is imbued in this item, and it's like going through every individual letter of every language whatsoever and like deciphering everything. It kind of almost looks like he's hacking the item, and it just all comes up like text in front of him. Some of it you can read as it passes, but it's just like letters.
Fire.
It takes a little while. Father Cruz, you check on Mimosa. You see the lights on. Idris cuddled up with Mimosa. You see a book on the bed where Veli was going to read, and the room itself is a little bit of a mess. Couch has moved a little bit. Must have been doing something. But as the ritual finishes, you identify Velu. Technically, this is not a magical item, it's an arcane focus. However, there are magical elements imbued within it I will go ahead and list out those things to you because an identify will 100% tell you the potentials that are available in this item.
Okay.
I'll just say it out loud. Is that okay, or do you want that to yourself?
You can tell that loud.
Okay.
Write this down. Write this down.
I'm just
Thank
kidding.
you.
Don't do it. It's
I'm
my
okay,
knowledge.
I'ma hog it.
It's mine. Okay. So the sapphire has 2 potentials in it. These potentials are basically surges that can be awakened by Ymir. They've been channeled through whatever potency of magic it is, and both of the spells that are through are divination and necromancy. For necromancy, it's a surge that equals to 1 point of meta magic for the effort of Ymir. So it actually does cost like sorcery points in order to do. So this isn't something anybody could use. If someone were a sorcerer and to gather this, they would also need like the arcane potential that Ymir has as well in order to basically use it. It's very special. The necromancy surge is called the awakening surge. Before casting a spell, you can choose a creature that is dead to rise up as an undead for a moment and cast the spell originating from you from its location. After the spell is cast, the undead flesh bursts apart into scraping bone and death, dealing 1d6 necrotic damage to any creatures within 10 feet of it. And that is the necromancy version. The sapphire for the divination. The divination side costs 2 meta magic points, and it's called Seeking Surge. When you cast a spell, you speak a creature's true name, and the spell will target that creature without a need for sight. If a spell requires you to see a creature, you now ignore this. The sapphire illuminates with the image of your named target, and if a target is named but not within range, you cannot use the surge, and the sorcery points are lost. So in speaking this effort, Ymir, the part that's been breaking the sapphire this time, it clicks in your mind. It's all about the range of the spell you cast. And whenever you say a name without casting a spell, the range extends to a point to where it can't go to that extent. And every time you've gone beyond and just said a name without casting a spell, you've caused basically a charge or damage to your arcane focus. And in understanding this now, you now understand that this surge cannot be used unless you use a spell with it. It hasn't been charging you the sorcery points to do so, but it has been using its own like internal charges to do so. So there is utility to it, of course. However, it seems it has a range limitation to whatever the spell's range is.
And it's breaking because it's an arcane focus,
Yes.
right? Or so if it was embedded into his body, it'd be okay
whatever
for him
whatever would make it a amplifier for you would make it a permanation. Like it would remove the contingencies. It would make it more it would make it more powerful, so enhanced, and then also it would remove some of the tear that would happen. Like it wouldn't break anymore. Like there's no chance of it destroying itself if it's like imbued or attuned to in some way.
See now.
There you go.
Yeah. So you
Just an
learn
item that you have.
you learn these
I
things.
appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, genuinely.
He-
Sorry that I'm
he-
like a little, yeah, I was a little bit icky.
He's holding the.
Give it back now.
It is
thing
the
very
sapphire itself.
carefully
By
and
the
gives it
way,
back.
this is also something in your identification, Velu. The crack on the sapphire and like the usage of it. You also gain that it has 7 charges, and this charges reset at dawn. But if it ever reaches 0 charges, it has a 5% chance of just destroying. So whenever you roll a D100, if the result on the dice is lower than 20, it basically... Sorry, did I say 5%? I apologize. 20%. if the result on the dice is lower than 20, there's a chance that it combusts or like grows. So it has to be lower than 20. And I believe Ymir, you rolled like a 23 or something before on your last D100, and it was on the cusps of breaking.
Be very careful, Ymir. You're gonna break this item.
I'm not going to use it again until I have the necessary tools to do what I need to do. There's also a potential one that if we do this quest with this super interesting old guy, I could get a new item that could possibly make more surges. So I want to do that tomorrow morning.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
What? What
Can
is
we
it?
leave this town?
I want to. As much as I enjoy this town, Cruz. He looks over at Cruz.
Side eye. Side eye.
As much as I enjoy this town, I would like to see more of the world.
Yes, I come and go as I please as well.
So, yeah, this has been a long, interesting stay for sure. I've enjoyed it. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep. Ymir looks around at anywhere to go to sleep at, and then he'll just choose the couch that he's already sitting on.
And just leans. Curls up, not too hard. Father Cruz, Velu.
Velu's gonna look at Father Cruz, says, "Good night."
Good night.
Good night.
You guys disperse for a moment to your rooms, falling asleep one by one. Carnelian.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Do you? I don't want to say this in a irrational way. Do you dash, or do you stay?
I will stay.
Okay, just curious.
Better than me. Better than Ymir.
Not in that intense. But you
Ymir
will.
Ren?
Carnelian
Ymir
will.
would have ran.
Carnelian, you will have the first like awakening in the morning, however, to return if you so desire.
Sure.
Or if there's anything you wish to do upon your exit, you. Okay, you guys aren't here, by the way. I just have you like kind of showing in like the space of things, like for just being here, like it's a party. But like Carnelian's having this moment by himself right now. But Carnelian, you like get up and like you're like kind of like however you wish to be, maintaining yourself, getting whatever you need and accoutrement to leave, not leaving anything behind, of course, and you are about to exit. Is there anything you wish to do before leaving?
Am I leaving? Is she still asleep?
Yeah, it is early in the morning. Or do you wish to wait
I'll wait.
for a moment? You kind of lay there awake, and then like there's a turn over.
God.
Morning.
He'll just kind of lay there and roll over, and he'll nod his head. Morning. What?
Make an insight check.
Okay. 18.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
Yeah. You just see eyes, like side eye.
Alright, Colonel, get up.
Yeah.
Time skip. You're now walking out, and there's like a little wave as you leave.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colonel.
Yep. It's over.
Kinda
You're
like nod his
outside of the
head.
house now. All of the nice things that you wanted to say, whatever has happened, whatever. You are now walking.
Yep.
not awkward for sure.
Yeah, Karn will go out. I want to say earlier in the day, he told everybody but Vilu where the cart thing was.
Yes, to
To
meet the
wake
guy
up
with
in
the
the
cart.
morning?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, because that was in the morning. And Karn will go over to that location and kind of wait.
Yeah. You go and you wait. The rest of you awaken. Those of you who remembered your assignment for the morning, from what Carnelian has mentioned, you all start to arise and awaken. Velu, you awaken at the same time because everybody's awakening. You all are present in Father Cruz's house. Idris, you wake up on the chest of Mimosa, who is like slowly rising, slowly falling. And you both awaken. Ymir on the couch. You've taken a position, probably like spooning the couch a little bit, and you see that Bongo has like taken a position kind of rolled up against your head on like the corner like arm of the couch.
Love that.
And Father Cruz, you emerge as well from your rest. Everybody's awakened in the Cruz house.
Ymir's gonna stretch.
Bongo just jumps out of the way and like jumps to the ground doing like a long like monkey stretch, and then like stands up and starts doing tricep stretches behind his head.
After your tricep stretches, you're gonna read the page of the book. We gotta get you situated. I'll read it to you while we're on our little cart ride.
Scratch his head. Hair's like all popped off in different locations.
Ymir's gonna fix it.
Raise a hand.
No. Gotta fix it, okay? You have to look spiffy. Don't do that. That's a little bit disgusting.
Flicks it instead of eating it.
That's better.
You all wake up. But yeah, those of you who were informed by Kenan, you know where to meet at.
We should get ready and head out.
Mm-hmm. Is everybody here and awake? Mimosa, Idris?
Mimosa's gonna tap Idris on the back.
Oh, I didn't know you were awake yet.
I just woke up.
Hmm.
Do you want me just to move you, or?
No, I can move myself. She sits up, gives him a pat on the chest, kind of fixes herself, and then she marches outside.
Yep. Adorned themselves, and the morning hair of Idris manages to stay flawless as they awaken.
Ymir immediately is giving Idris eyebrows like up and down winks. Very subtly.
Idris like does another like eye trick with Ymir, and she kind of like flicks it towards Vilu, raises an eyebrow, and then kind of gestures to him. Like,
Oh, and then Ymir's gonna do a. It's like a. I don't even know how to do an expression. He's just like Ymir's gonna smirk, roll his eyes, and then shrug his shoulders.
Immediately, Idris grabs Ymir and drags him outside with her.
This is like thieves' can't, like in another scenario, you know? This is literally like a different language, and everybody's like, huh?
Baloo was present with y'all?
Yeah, Billy, you're just standing
I mean,
there.
yeah, everybody's in the room.
But they didn't speak.
You
They're
guys-
just making eye conversation, and you just kind of like glimpsed on it and don't know.
Baloo would notice and be like, what the actual fuck?
What is it? What?
I knew what you did yesterday.
What did I do?
What did you do? What do you mean, what did you do?
I know what you did yesterday.
I could smell it on you.
No, that wasn't Velu though.
I know.
Okay, what about it?
But now you guys are buddy-buddy? Hello?
Okay.
What happened?
A whole
Wait,
thing
what was
happened.
in the mirror?
Huh?
Wait, is Cruz outside with them?
No.
No. It's just,
No. They stepped away.
I was in the same room as
I thought they
Bella.
No, they
Bella
left-
sleeps in my room. I sleep on the chair that's next to it.
They walked
Here.
outside, I thought.
They're outside. They're outside.
canonically they stepped away outside, just out the front door, and are whispering to each other. The rest of you are just kind of like making eyebrows of it and like, okay, and getting your things ready to go wherever you're going. Bellu, you have no clue why people are preparing right now. It's early.
I can't tell you everything because it's Viglu's business, but he's not like a completely asshole dickhead. He's just a very insecure,
Understood.
mysterious,
Fair.
super handsome loser.
Totally fair. Wait.
And I don't think he's not racist. I'll say that. But I mean, it's not my business. I'm not gonna like. It's his whole situation to figure out, but I think he should come with us. We have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk
Also,
about.
you and Mimosa, what's up with that?
You guys,
Nothing
oh wait,
happened.
hold on, Idris and Ymir, you guys are outside, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Idris, you turn, you see the biggest white leonin you have ever seen in your life, just approaching
Holy
the door.
cow.
Just wearing armor, like chain armor, shoulder pauldrons, jackrabbit insignias, double-bladed scimitar on the side, some type of like banded like gauntlet on the right. Like he walks over and you hear the chain kind of hitting like kind of with each step, and he like as soon as he steps forward, he's like, is this a bad?
Ymir's gonna grab Idris.
No.
One moment, and then he's gonna go inside,
Velu,
and then say, Velu, your friend is here.
before
Friend.
they even came inside, Velu
Yeah,
like
Velu knew.
already knows that he's
Friend.
Belu's already walking to the door.
Yeah,
Oh.
Velu's already like walking.
Velu, you kind of open the door and you say, Velu, I was remember you. I came. I need to say farewell to you.
Yes.
And also, and he like tucks in under, like not tucking under. The door's big enough for Father Cruz. He kind of like looks inside. He says, "Oh, that's kind of nice. No, lean in." Father Cruz, Sister Roma's helped me acquire my comrades, and we're making our way to Halavar. I do appreciate what you've given for us, and I've made a pleasurable donation to your worship.
I appreciate the gesture.
Of course, anything for what you have provided us. To the rest of you, kind of like looks around. Carnelian, there is an imposing. There, you see an opposing white leonin kind of walking towards Father Cruz's house. You can see it, and as you're standing there waiting for, no, he's over waiting by the cart. He just sees this one that kind of like this is like kind of happening at the same time. You stand out there and you're kind of waiting for a moment. The cart's out there, but your friends haven't shown up yet. It's not like the break of day yet, but it's getting close.
Is for this car, there's like a horse or something on the end of it, right?
Yeah, it's
Or
like
we have
a
to pull it?
oh. You see this pulling the Can I do this? Ironically enough, that's pretty funny. Where'd you go? Man, I don't have my images saved in a thing where I'm supposed to. Not that image. That would've been funny. Basically, it's an emojome. It's the like half camel, half emu hybrid that's pulling the like the cart right here. Yeah, you have one of those pulling onto the cart right now. It just stands there and just kind of like the head makes that awkward turn at you.
Was that guy there waiting by the cart?
He's not waiting by it, but it is prepared for you. You don't know if he's gonna be like saying farewell to you or anything, but the cart is outside and prepared with stuff on it.
Yeah, I mean,
how long will you
will
wait?
like inspect the cart. He'll wait like another hour.
Okay. Yeah, you just kind of wait for a moment, and inspecting the cart and looking at it. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
You just kind of check out a little bit of the goods.
Investigation. 14.
14. Food, rations. There's some. It looks to be like seed as well, like to plant for plants and things of that nature. You see clothes. You see some like different like kind of like living material. More importantly, with your roll, you see banded onto the side of it, kind of tethered on with like this red like sash. You see there's like a box that is currently like kind of hanging off of the side of the emodrome itself, and not on the cart. It's just kind of like latched onto it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it seems like you kind of go and investigate a little bit. It has like a jiggle in it, and it has like you can hear like something's kind of like metallic on the inside. But that's all you can really make out of it.
Does it have like a saddle that I can ride on it?
If you want to ride on top, yeah, it's a saddle.
Okay. Karn will try to get he'll try to make sure that the emu is like thing is like comfortable before like really getting close to it and approaching it.
Make an animal handling check.
8.
8. The head like commands a lot of like the center of attention in the moment, and as you go to approach, it kind of like interrupts the distance between you and trying to approach its back, and the head like makes an awkward like movement to like get basically to where your position is and meet your face, and you're face to face with this thing before you like kind of approach it.
I'll take my my hands are kind of out to my sides currently, and I'll put my head down to meet with it, like just touching heads, and then I'll open my cloak.
Curious eyes kind of like
wider.
blink at you. It doesn't seem to be like understanding what you're trying to do. And as you like tilt the head downwards, it kind of like pecks at your head a little bit, not heavily, but just kind of like nips at it, like nibbles it, and just like.
Okay, I'm just gonna back up.
It just doesn't understand. It doesn't seem to like allow you to get on though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just more of like a uncertainty. Doesn't seem to build that trust immediately.
It'll have ropes going over to like a front part of the carriage.
You could ride
right?
in the cart too. You know, like it's still
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's available. But it's
I
also
just
like
want to be cool.
Yeah, unfortunately you don't have that cool moment where you're like waiting in the distance on top of a cool animal.
Yeah,
But
I guess I'll
as the sun rises,
get into the driver's seat.
Yeah, you're in the driver's seat where the reins are, and you're just waiting. The rest of you, we pan back. Nathaniel's in the doorway, just looking through to Father Cruz and like nodding. The rest of you, Mimosa and Idris, you haven't seen this individual before. Just nodding.
Sizing him up.
You would be sizing him up for sure, and he just kind of looks at you and just nods. And just, yeah, I'll be making
This is my son.
Oh, my pleasure,
Unless he's gonna wave a hand.
Nathaniel.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Mimosa.
Lovely name. And you, my lady?
Oh, Idris. Idris of the Golden Skies. A pleasure to meet you.
He offers a hand.
She shakes it.
He offers it kind of in a gesture, kind of like regal in a way, kind of like you go to shake the hand, and he turns the hand to the side to grab the top, like from the bottom top of your hand, and hold it upwards, and just kind of nods ahead to you, and just like it's very like soft for a moment, and a tight squeeze and a let go. And he just has this like really respectful like eye that twitches to you, looks over to Velu. It's like, as I was mentioning, I will be making my way. Velu, you told me to say goodbye, so this is me saying goodbye.
Bello's giving you the hardest side eye right now.
Just like looks left and right, unsure of what to make of it. They're gonna make an insight check. They cough, but right. They're just kind of standing there, like in shock, and just looking at you.
Ymir's gonna butt it in front of you. Be sure to visit again, Nathaniel. It was nice meeting you.
I'm sure we'll be meeting each other's acquaintance again. It was a pleasure. Everybody seems
Funny.
nice.
Yes, but we must be going.
Yeah, we got so much stuff to do.
I apologize.
You have a good one.
Don't let me hold you away. And he steps away outside of the door frame, and you guys just start exiting the home.
Velu follows before he actually like leaves.
Yeah, it's like he kind of just waits until all of you exit the door, and he like takes a moment to grab onto Father Cruz's shoulder. He's like, "May I have a word?"
Yes.
And just nods. And
Did you need something?
you guys can hear his conversation for a moment, and he like just turns to whisper in your ear, Father Cruz. He just like leans in. He's like, he's a good kid. Please take care of him.
Cruz will just nod his head. You have my word.
And you have my faith. And he like leans away. And he just like nods again. Velu, one last moment. He like just takes like a moment to like bow ahead to each one of you and say and bid his farewell. As you see, he has his own like cart arranged, and he's like making off, kind of driving off into the early morning. You guys all see the visage of like a white Leonin fur disappearing in the distance of the sand. The rest of you go to here to meet Carnelian, like which is where you guys all step away to. Velo, I'm assuming you follow as well. Not sure where everybody's going. Does Velo?
Ymir is making sure Velu follows.
Okay. I don't know if Velo's trying to like steer away or something.
Sorry, I wanted to say like a bye, proper bye, but
Yeah, like there's a moment where
sure
he's
that
like, there's a moment where he's getting on his cart and you kind of rush over for a second. And he's like, Velo,
bye.
goodbye, and just kind of looks
I'm
at
just
you.
kidding. Velu gives him like a kind of like a hug again.
He's just like,
We,
he kind of like is like puts his arms up and he's kind of hugging him like he's like, it's all right. And we're like I said, this isn't the last time, right?
yeah, but you never know what could happen. You know.
He makes eyes at you. It's like, I know what will happen.
To you. I'm talking about to you. I'll be fine. To you.
I have much to report. Come on, yeah. And it's like hits onto the cart. There's horses on this one, and like it just like kind of takes the horses off. Clocks away. Then we skitter back, time skip loop over to you guys approaching Carnelian.
Carnelian is cleaning his new gun on this seat with his feet kicked up.
Yeah.
Don't know what on, maybe to the side, but
You kind of have just kicked up onto the railing of the cart.
okay.
Ymir is gonna run, not run, but like skitter over to Carnelian, stand in front of him. Can I hug you?
Why?
Because of yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll stop kicking his feet and like scooch over a little bit. I don't want to jump down, so you come up here.
Ymir comes up and wraps his arm around Carnelian and holds him tightly. Please don't ever do that again.
You can make a
Karn will
perception
do
check.
Karn will do a loose hug around Ymir and like
God.
give a like double pat on the back. It's not intentional.
No, you don't know what I saw.
I can't imagine. My point of view was also kind of fucked.
You were almost. I think you were dead for like a second. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean we can talk about it on the journey once everybody else is here.
So also Velu's here. So like, we need to get this situated. There's so much stuff to debrief, and I don't know. I'm just happy you're alive.
Who did you say to make the perception check?
Ymir.
Oh.
Oh. I
It's
thought
a,
you were-
Oh,
just,
no.
just a quiet one.
Oh, I got a 17.
Okay.
Do I just stealth it?
No, it's not stealth. It's
You
this
don't got
is
my
sl-
magic gang.
No, this isn't stealth. This is what do I want to make this? I want to say it's sleight of hand.
I'm down.
What the fuck is going on?
He's hiding the condoms.
Nat
Yeah,
2025.
No, you did not. Really?
Nat 2025. Look at the sheet, buddy. I roll on my sheet.
Carnelian has a new gun.
Oh, cool. Nice gun.
Yeah, he'll kind of like keep it on his lap with a hand on it. when he hugs you, it's a side hug,
Yeah, for sure.
by the way.
Ymir doesn't allow that. He makes it a full hug.
Okay, well, you can full hug him. Karn's side hugging, holding onto his gun.
Mhm.
And you know what? He'll pat you on the back with his gun in his hand if you really want that.
Please feel better.
Clack clack.
All right, we should go now.
Okay. I guess.
Before is Velu's there? Everyone's there, right?
Yeah, everybody's here. Everybody's here.
Okay. Velu's gonna speak up. Before we go, can I talk to you, Carnelian and Idris?
Go
Idris'
ahead.
her head turns dramatically. She's like, "Yeah, sure."
Karn's not looking towards Velu, he's looking towards this creature in front of him.
Idris is gonna wave a hand. Come here.
He can speak freely.
Come here. Stand next to me.
You literally just walk over here. There's like, how many seats?
In front of everybody.
It's enough for
Mhm.
half to walk and half to sit.
Okay, yeah, Idris, you can sit up here.
Velu wants to be in front of both their vision, so Velu's gonna stand
He
in front of the
positions
animal.
himself. Yeah.
Idris hops up to wherever Karn's sitting.
He'll help her out, man.
Kind of have to take a lower perspective, but yeah, that works.
Karn will. I'm assuming this is like a pretty big thing, about as tall as the creature that we're
No,
sitting upon.
not as tall as the creature.
No?
Actually, the creature is much taller than the cart. The cart's just carrying the supplies. Theoretically, the creature could carry all of it all on his back, but you see that
Oh,
that's not
shit.
the case.
Okay.
Velu's gonna wait till both of y'all make eye contact with him.
Idris quietly nudges Carnelian.
Really,
See-
we see Carnelian roll his eyes because you're looking towards his direction.
Literally,
and looking down.
Carnelian's profile picture right now is how he's staring at you. For
he,
sure.
he has his hand on. He has his hand on one of his guns and then the other on the whatever the fucking steering wheel rope thing is.
Yeah, it's just
You know,
reins.
look
yeah.
over towards Velu.
Yesterday was a really interesting night. I don't know what happened with y'all, but I just wanted to apologize to both of y'all. I talked to someone about the word that I used, and I know I overheard him maybe use it once, and I did not know that it was a derogatory word to use to y'all, because I thought it was a good word. I guess it wasn't, and I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry for dehumanizing you, and I know it was really bad of me to do that, but it wasn't my intention. But it still came out of my mouth, so I do apologize for that. And if y'all are still mad at me, y'all still can be. Understandable. All rights to you. I just wanted to let y'all know that I am here to say I am sorry for saying those 2 words that I shouldn't have said.
Idris kind of shoots a look to Carnelian, and it's almost asking, have we ever said those things to each other before?
No, but
Carnelian
it's
will shake his head. Definitely fucking not.
Mm-hmm.
but it's derogatory in the sense of another culture calling you it, and it almost sounds like a human thing to say, and I think it's also kind of your introspective thing of this, is this a made up thing that just got invented recently type of thing, and you had to be mad at it.
Cordelia will keep looking over Idris, and he'll say out loud, "Are you good?"
Are you good?
Okay, that's not what I asked.
Well, I'm asking you the same thing.
Okay, go ahead and answer first because I asked first.
Don't be difficult with me. Thank you. She's gonna turn her head, a hand just gently on Carnelian's shoulder, kind of looking at Velu. thank you for your apology. It's nice to hear that you recognize what it is, but understand that if something like that happens again, we probably will not speak to you again.
All good.
Cornelia will nod.
Um,
Um,
you'll probably have to work to trust back, unfortunately. But thank you.
We're going to do this. I don't know if they've told you either. I guess you're joining. We're all going to do this journey over to the next town and then come back for our reward, and then we're leaving this area. And you weren't discussed within the. Actually, I think it was only me, Idris, and Ymir were talking for the reward. So I don't know if anybody else will get any reward for this, just so you guys know. But
it's okay. I don't need the reward, but I'm glad to help. Happy to
okay.
help.
He seems nice though. I think he'll give everybody a reward.
Okay.
You all get onto the cart or walk beside. Does anybody else try to get on the emodrome?
Like the emodrone or the cart?
The emodrome, like the
Right,
actual emu,
emodrome
like the emo
What does
camel.
an
No.
emodrome look like?
Look
It's
at
in
look at
fan
fan
art.
art. Yeah.
It's in
How
there.
many seats can it?
Two
No, I
people.
don't get
Two
that.
people technically could sit on it, but it's bumpy.
Cruz wants to be on an emodrome.
Okay. Cruz.
Okay. With Cruz walking over to the
Ymir wants to
emodrome,
be on the-
Carnelian will kind of shake his head. No, don't get on it.
Cardinal. I want to say Ymir and Father Cruz. You both can make separate animal handling checks.
Oh no, Ymir's not getting on that. He's
Oh.
going on the cart, but Bongo can hop on it.
All right, just animal handling check for Father Cruz.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a 7. Oh man, I thought it was a nat 1.
You guys. By the way,
got 10.
I don't know if any of you guys have done this. You have those of you who rolled did inspiration. You have advantages on the first roll of the game. I don't think anybody did that, so you have
You know,
inspiration.
I'm gonna use
By the way,
it. I'm gonna use it.
I don't think
I-
anybody did that. By the way, I'm just saying.
No.
I got 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I completely forgot about that. I'm like looking over at my sheet. I'm like, oh, people have inspiration from what? I'm like, oh shit. That was a long time ago. Yeah, you guys can use that inspiration from this point on whenever you want, since it's the second half. But the emodrome has familiarity with you, Father Cruz, in a sense. Not in the sense of like you've ridden this thing before, maybe, I don't know. But they live for a long time, and it's kind of like the familiarity of like that you speak with plants and nature of that kind, and like you can understand a little bit of the whims, I guess, and you understand the nature of mounting a creature too, because you've definitely have been a part of that. So there's a moment where you start to go kick up, and you realize that the emodrome lowers the head in an effort for you to use its thicker neck part to climb up onto itself. And and Cornelian, you take notice that what the emodrome was doing for you was trying to offer you to get up, but you were just kind of taking the wrong way, and it didn't understand why you were trying to avoid it. And Father Cruz, you take up onto the neck, get up, get on top of the emodrome.
Is it harder to see
No.
past with Cruz on top?
No, it's not hard to see at all. The cart knows, people know where they're going, and you can see from the opposite side of the cart on the sides of the beast.
Okay. Because I definitely want to be the one driving it.
Yeah, you're driving it fine. It has a turn in steering this thing. Father Cruz is just riding. The reins are
Okay.
really what control it. Father Cruz couldn't really control this thing and where it wants to go unless it made another animal handling check to direct it in some way. You have
It must be
driving
walking
control.
alongside it.
Yeah.
Get that cardio.
It's about as big as you, Mimosa, and Father Cruz. It is as tall as you. It's not a huge creature, but it is stocky.
We missed you last night, Chameleon. Where were you at?
Oh yeah. Where were you?
Just out by the tavern.
You guys have already taken your reign and started heading in the direction. You on the emodrome itself. You guys have been given kind of like a path to follow. You go a little bit south of Solaria. It's a day's travel. your conversation continues. You can have any conversations you guys want all together or separate. Just kind of mark those moments if you so desire. Catch up.
I want to avoid what I just said
Okay.
and replace it with a. It doesn't matter.
Were you out sightseeing?
Sure. Yeah, I was.
What is there to see but sand?
There's a lot to see. Like,
Sand?
mm,
I'm sorry to like cut off whatever we're going on about. Can we just talk about the events that have occurred between the group of us? Like seriously?
Mm-mm.
Not at all? I
Mm-mm.
just feel like this
Mm.
I just
The
I think
events
Ymir
where
is
you
right.
told me that everyone was convulsing on the ground.
Mm-mm.
it just I just feel as though there is a lot of baggage that we have and we are kind of, believe it or not, stuck together.
Now that you mention it, hold on. She's really gonna point a finger at Cornelian. Don't you ever do that again. If you die, I will drag you out. Don't.
Aurelian died. Oh wait.
Yes.
Did I see myself die, Jacob?
You don't. In your vision, Carnelian, you awoken suddenly and had someone holding you teary-eyed, like the similarity of like someone dying. Like you can't like dismiss it in any way because you know that there is definitely like a vibrance of that, but you don't remember a heartbeat. Like it's very vague in the sense of like you don't know if you came back to life, if you were ever dead, if there was a like maybe your heart was just stopped for a second. You don't know about like the state you were actually in. And also for Idris as well, it's a little foggy too because seeing someone die was also an almost like similar illusory status to you as well, being in a completely different like realm around you. So when you say die out loud, you kind of like also realize like you're not locked into a room with lights and shadows anymore. So it's like you kind of like are still piecing it all together. So death is hard to say. Ymir, though, however, has the only one who could like equivalently say that Carnelian was dead. Like Ymir would be the only one to say.
From my perspective, I didn't die. I was just
I
within a new
felt your
place.
skin. You were cold. A corpse.
I was walking around within a different realm, like a dream. That's
Does
what my experience was.
this have something to do with the Echo Knight? Because I remember whenever you got mad at me towards that incident that I feel very sorry for. I got a glimpse of something that wasn't normal.
I mean, I assume so. I'm pretty sure, like it's something to do with that.
Who
But
was that?
I've never had that experience before with being out of control. Besides, earlier the day, with our confliction with Vilu, and that's someone from my past that I'm not going to talk about.
All perfectly fine, but that thing had, it was either resentment or madness that I think I caught a glimpse of, or like sadness, one of those three.
That it
Like it
provided
wasn't
a feeling.
So you know how you were mad.
Mhm.
Like I can feel your madness, like you being mad, but that Echo Knight when it was in front of me, it was not your feeling, it was someone else's.
Well, now that you mention that,
It did speak to us.
that's what I thought.
What
I
did
saw
it? What did it say? You'll see Carnelian's focus go less from driving and more onto the conversation as his ears like perk up.
What was it? Come back to darkness? It's all a blur, but
Who did they say that to?
nobody. They just
It was
just said it to the room.
I think
yeah.
for Father Cruz, since you had the most knowledge on like Mimosa as well, I believe. Yeah, both of you would know this. It kept saying the same phrase over: "Become the darkness in the shade." And they kept saying that over and over again.
I'm
I know
assuming
you
they-
don't want.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say,
I
I'm
know you don't-
assuming they like shared it with the group.
Well, it's up to them. I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know you remember what it was, the words.
I know you don't want to talk about them, Cornelian, but when you were dying, they were standing over you, informing the parts of you that decayed was the parts of them that were rejuvenated.
It was killing you and coming to life.
Is this going to happen again? It's just
that
going to.
was so hard to see.
I don't know if it will happen again, because that is, out of my entire life, that is the only time that has ever happened to me.
Cornelian, you instinctively kind of go to look at your arms where your fur was turning to that matte white color, and like you look down again to check, and it's still like the same color it should be, matching the rest of your skin tone and fur, and a coldness kind of shudders over in like the thought of it.
Okay.
So your
Well,
chateau.
figure-
Sorry, I have a question. So
Mhm.
your chateau isn't you? It's someone from your past?
Yeah.
And when did this chateau begin to appear for you? Was it something you wanted, or it just happened?
It kind of just started to happen, but I'd had control over it when I discovered this.
Mm.
If it was something that just happened, then why doesn't it look like you?
It's something I don't really want to get into.
Eventually, we're all going to have to stop running from the truth.
There's no truth that I'm really running from. It's just a personal topic that I don't want to talk about.
Mimosa's
That
gonna
isn't
rub his
really-
own neck.
That isn't really much of a concern to what directly is happening.
Also,
it's just-
I would like to also say, Carnelian, in the sake of like your control manner of like your echo, you feel in control right now. There's no concern of like right now, but like in a future state, you do have that concern. But for right now, you feel like totally like in control of it all.
I feel as though like right now I can tell when I'm in control or not. As of now, I am perfectly capable.
Why do you think you would have lost control?
Maybe my temperament.
You don't actually. I'll allow everybody here to since actually I think everybody can, because Velu has some insight on this as well. All of you guys can make a Arcana or some other intelligence check. You can
Nat
choose.
20.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
Can I investigation then?
Yeah. Anybody, you can use any intelligence-based skill.
Arcana 24.
I got an 11.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, 18.
Okay, I'm gonna go one by
Hell yeah.
one as things go. Ymir, for your 20 on Arcana. In understanding magical natures and controlling like immense powers, Ymir, this is something that you've been doing for a long time. Things going erratic and out of control is not something new to you. So you understand that every source of power has source. So you feel as though when Carnelia makes the mention of like having full control, you know that comes with like a cost. Like all power has a cost. All magic has a cost. So you don't know if like maybe this was like if this is like an overuse of his power similar to the sapphire and it breaking, or if this is something like, you know, beyond like his control. So you do have this kind of premonition already building within you that and how magic works, Carnelia may be acting the same way as if he was an amplifier. So you kind of like tether this together. Who else rolled? What do you got?
I got an 18.
On what?
I also have.
5.
We'll go with Idris's roll first. What was your roll for?
I also did Arcana.
Arcana? Same thing, however, in your retrospective like understanding of like bardic magic, you understand that there's passion to some type of magic, and Carnelian's not a magical person. Like, he doesn't have an ability to cast a spell or anything like that. However, he obviously has some tether to something otherworldly. And as a bard and understanding you can channel the powers of summoning creatures and things like that of that nature, you can lose control of summoned creatures. Like, that's something that can 100% happen with a spell. So you don't know if his is acting the same way, similar to how creatures are summoned or possessed or anything like that. You don't know what the toll is on like the ability of summoning a creature versus like your own like fiber of your being. Like, if something's trying to break free is what you're worried about, and that think that comes to your head.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Father Cruz, same roll, but for what stat?
It was Arcana.
Arcana. You and Idris kind of are a flock of a feather. In the divine sense of your Arcana, understanding the divine nature of Carnelian, a greater being could be possessing Carnelian. Like, whatever this is, this could be a goddess or some type of deity that like, is giving him and granting him this power, similar to a paladin, similar to like a cleric. Any like this could be an oath in some way, and you see it as an opportunity to like go forth and like conquest an oath. And with the sentence that you got from the abyssal, become the dark within the shade, that is a declarative statement similar to a bond. So in that sentence, you feel that same paladin-esque like call, and understand that Carnelian maybe has taken some type of vow, maybe against another greater deity or some kind. And then Mimosa, with your 5 and your intelligence, it's hard to say, but you truly believe Carnelian might have your same affliction.
I rolled 2.
That's all you get, Mimosa. You think maybe keeping him near light might help because of all the light and tetherness to what that meant in your like nightmares.
He's gonna pull out his little light wand, just hold it.
Veli, what did you roll and what was the stat?
17, and I think I remember you saying that how I have like I think I know history about
You
Echo
do.
Knights, so I rolled 17 in history.
A little bit more detail. You remember the first thing I've told you about it, which is you remember an Echo Knight, but it wasn't dark and shadowy, it was light in form, and there's an Echo Knight of the Fae realm. And that you remember this just as far as like your knowledge of the past. Stories,
okay.
Everything like that. So Echo Knights are actually there are Echo Knights within your liege of like things back in Genesis of what you remember, but there's an actual like structural form to them. Like, there's an actual practice that they follow to maintain that power. There's an actual like there's a balance they keep. And in your roll of history, you remember conversation about this wasn't the only legion of Echo Knights in the world. This is just one of them. And you think Carnelian may have a tether to whatever his is. Maybe there's a group out there that he can go and seek help with, but you don't know the name of this group or any type of matter. I think that's the extent of your history. You just feel confident that there are others like him.
Okay.
And I think all of you... And then Carnelian.
Hello.
What was your roll?
I
Investigation,
rolled an 11
right?
investigation.
You feel confident in the control of your power. You feel confident that your allies were able to nullify the situation. Investigating your body itself, there are still strands of gray that remain in the hairs of your arm that still haven't necessarily went all the way back, like their time stopped almost. And you remember what it felt like to be in the Shadowfell, how everything kind of felt still and timeless. And you remember the breaths you were taking. You remember how it was stuttered, the heartbeat in the background that was so ever so slow. And in that investigation of kind of like looking at yourself, there are still remnants of that. Like, there's stuff that's never going to leave. And there's remnants of whatever that situation was that have now just kind of settled. And from your investigation, you also feel kind of untapped power a little bit. You feel stronger with your Echo. And as a matter of fact, you actually have gained a feature for your character that I'll be sharing with you after this session.
You told me it last session, no?
Yes. I told you what it was,
Okay.
but it's not a part of your sheet. I'm going to be explaining that to you and how it works after session.
Okay.
So,
Cornelian will kind of just like look around at everyone as he's staring, as they all kind of like stare at him and investigate him in their own
everybody's kind of
way.
like looking and confused. Like, there's a lot of like pondering.
So, like, we're just gonna stare now. Like,
There
use your
are
word,
for
guys.
sure other people just like you. So, not the only
So,
one.
what price did you pay for this power?
How do you feel about dark alleys?
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let's go one by one first. Maybe. Okay. I'm happy with the words, but like, so yeah, there are. I know that there are more people like me, really. But is that all you like gathered?
Do you want to get rid of it, the Echo Knight?
Why? Do you know of a way?
No, but maybe we can find people.
It depends on really what the get rid of is.
That entity that does not belong.
I mean,
Maybe. I don't know.
okay. What? Cruz? What did you say?
What did you promise for this power? What did you give up?
It was similar to like a ritualistic kind of scenario where I was forced into. I did it when I was really young. Okay. That's so
I'm really interested in.
Of course. Why?
that's all I really want to say about it.
Idris kind of turns ahead and stares at them.
Who?
I understand.
I'd like to ask a question.
Sure. We're just asking questions right now, I guess.
You can say no, you know.
I know.
Do you know of the source of your power? Because I dabble in magic sources, we all know, and I am a tool using these sources. So I guess I get like a sympathy when I look at you. You are sort of like a product of the source. Do you know of the source that
Like
is causing you to create these shadows?
the
Or this shadow?
source is the shadow. The shadow is where the power comes from. I'm just I guess in your words, the tool that kind of guides it.
Like the shadow, the person from your past, or like You're just gonna think for a moment.
Okay, while you do that, I was gonna say Emma, Mimosa. What was your?
Who's
Emma?
Who's that guy?
Mimosa?
Yeah.
Sorry, sometimes you have to
How do
bonk
you
them
feel
across the head.
about
Okay,
being
that's
in
not
the
very
dark
nice.
a bit?
You said the darkness?
Being in the dark?
I don't think it's about being in the dark. Like I said, I think it was more of a temperament issue where I got into my feelings and kind of let loose or lost control.
Okay, then I don't really have a clue.
You're still unsure, by the way, Mimosa. You think he's potentially like embarrassed by it?
Idris?
Hmm?
You're staring at me just like everybody else.
I'm just worried about you. That's all.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Okay.
It just if you are trying to deceive. If you're trying to persuade.
I rolled an 18.
Okay. Not one.
Hell yeah.
I mean, Idris, like you're a book, but like all the pages are pictures. You know, like it's not reading more than it is just seeing. What does Carnelian see?
Terror. She's scared. She's worried. There's a lot that her face shows, and it's hard to really pinpoint what it is, but genuine concern mixed with uncertainty is kind of what's pulling forward the most.
You'll see Carnelian reading you, and he will, instead of holding his gun as he is driving, he'll put the gun onto his side, and then put a, like, gentle hand on her leg, and just be like, I'm sorry if I worry you. This is new to me as well, and I'm trying to figure it out. Which is why I am more open to talk about it, because it concerns everybody that I'm traveling with.
She sighs, her head kind of sinks, and her head just kind of collides with his shoulder and just sits there for a second, and she goes, I just don't want to lose you again. That sucked. So, I'd like to prevent that.
I'm not trying to die out here. That's not the goal.
Well, I don't care if that's the goal or not. I'm saying you can't do it because I will drag you back.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm thankful
what?
for that.
Yeah, you should be.
The ride continues. A couple hours in, it's a full day's journey to like get to this place, and then you'll have to like spend half the day getting back. So from early in the morning, you're gonna basically reach midday to get to your destination, and then you'll use the rest of your day to get back.
Okay.
So you still have about a few hours on your journey there if you guys want to continue any other conversations. It's still an early morning. You guys have presumably have eaten some rations of some kind of nature, but any conversations that continue here will eventually be met with you arriving at your destination, and then likely close of the session.
Carnelian will look towards Ymir as he is still or is done thinking.
He's done thinking, but he's gonna look at you, and he's gonna look at everybody else. I do have more questions, but it'd just be more things that you probably won't want to talk about, but things that would probably answer why these events occur. But I don't want to do that now. I just want everybody to understand that we are kind of a group, and for better or for worse, we do care about each other, and we don't really know each other that well, but we should probably try to. I really do care about you guys, and when I thought that you all were dead, I felt what I haven't felt in a long time. So I would like to know more about you all, and I want you to know more about me, if that's okay. And I do think we're going to do some crazy things with this world because we're already in a pretty crazy situation. And I would like to be a part of that with all of you. So let's be like less antisocial, if we could, possibly. We could be antisocial to everybody else though, but with us, I feel like we should try a little bit harder to get to know each other.
I think I agree
like
with the
a good
knowing
idea.
each other, and that I will go back to what I have said before. If there's a problem that concerns everybody within the group, it needs to be vocalized because it puts everybody at risk, which is why I'm open about talking on the important things of my past and whatnot. And I feel as though there are some things that we still haven't talked about. Like,
I'm also gonna shrink into his seat.
I think we'll have time to talk about it in the future.
right,
Anytime.
but we're just journeying now, and I just opened up. So it is unfair to me if I'm the only one opening up in this
Okay,
situation.
fine. There was this old group with my ex that is probably looking for me to murder me after I stole
Whoa.
my.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god.
Hold on, pause.
So yeah, it's just if they come around, I mean, maybe they'll try to kill me. It's really
You're
weird. I think
being
he's probably still
hunted.
into me. I don't really know, but
I'm also
yeah.
being hunted.
I
Oh.
knew that. I knew
Is
that.
anyone else being hunted?
No, not me.
Mimosas just
No.
gonna
Velu.
smile a little bit.
I know about that one.
The eyebrow raise from Velo that was
What
so
is
quiet made me so happy.
Velu is like he's trying to like hide his hands, and he's cracking his like knuckles behind his back so no one sees him.
And there is
It looked
also in the news
Huh?
there is a genie within my body that allows me to cast the spells that I am able to cast. Her name is Cinder, and she's
Ymir!
really
Is-
cool.
You're gonna
Is
get me
that
all
what
hot
you
and
have?
flustered. What are you doing,
Is that
Ymir?
It's like when you have schizophrenic episodes and you just sit there and
Can I
talk to
say
yourself.
something to them? Am I
That's
allowed
right.
You
now?
come out. No, come out.
There's like fire blazons from the cotton
What the
underneath
fuck?
Ymir's
Oh,
eye.
Off the carriage!
There's
Fi-
so much stuff in here.
Fiery blaze emerges into the sky and leaves the medallion. You better start describing what Cinder looks like. I'll post a
Okay.
picture, but you can describe it.
Awesome. Hold on.
I got you.
So, just straight out, smoke and flames arrive out of Ymir's body, and he's just smiling the entire time. And over him, black, wispy, and red hands of smoke are placed onto his shoulders, and it is this just a visage of a lady made of like transparent flame and a flaming head for hair. And it's as if everything around her is like bursting with fire, but nothing's actually getting set.
It's good to have my space, darling.
How
Stretches her
long is
arms
she-
out. You see like
Yeah.
flames emerging from the
Oh.
fingertips.
Let's
How
not
much-
do
What a
this while I'm
lovely
in character.
morning.
Don't worry, she's not going to burn the cart.
Oh,
I,
Okay.
okay.
the Emodrome like
And-
seems to like have a panicky moment for a second, Ymir, and then like you kind of like she notices like, oh, okay, I'll back away. Don't want to ruin your day. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic now. Oh, it's so cramped in there sometimes.
You're very pretty.
Oh my goodness,
I
babe.
know.
I know.
Do you live in his eyeball?
I don't know if that's what you would call it. He kind of more lives with me, and I think it's
Oh.
been kind of nice so far. Don't you think, my sweet?
It is great. I enjoy it quite a lot.
Oh, it's so
How'd you
nice.
two meet?
Oh, it's a lovely story about how somebody failed and somebody was just lucky. And then I kind of had a little tint there and there, had some people along the way. I got trapped in the tomb, and then I met Ymir and some other lady. I don't remember her name.
That was a guy.
Oh,
But
I don't know.
don't worry.
She
about
was,
it.
she, he, whoever she was. It's just
Yeah, I don't want to
bleh.
talk about that. It's okay.
Bleh.
It's fine.
Gross.
He wasn't that bad. He really wasn't that bad,
Eh,
actually.
I mean,
I'm the problem.
yeah,
You say your name was
Interesting.
there's just so much more potential. Look at him. Look at this one. He like she grabs your cheeks from behind.
Ymir is like a flustered, like a kid getting like praised by their
Oh, you're
parent
such a little cutie.
in
Look
front
at
of everybody.
you.
Like, Jesus.
Cinder, do you have psychopathic tendencies?
I don't know what you mean by that.
That is such a wonderful thing to ask.
I'm a little nervous. I don't
Have you ever met a djinn?
She's hot.
know.
Oh my goodness! She starts like clapping. Flames just like burst out from the fingertips as she's
Alright.
clapping.
All right. All right.
Oh,
We've got fur. We've got fur. We might catch on fire.
you guys know what genies are? Maybe in a more natural sense.
I don't think they've ever met the genie in their entire
Oh,
life.
that's
Not
such a
lot of people-
shame.
Would
Not
I
lot of people
know,
know.
Jacob?
None of
Do
you
you
have
have
met a
3
genie before.
wishes?
Okay.
Oh, that's such a huge stereotype. Wishes are not even the most powerful magic we have, but like I understand what you're coming from. It is a interesting tale. I think you mean the Sandman. The Sandman had 4 wishes, not 3 wishes, and that was all based upon the genies. And it's a lovely story. Blah 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 blah.
Really long story,
It,
honestly.
it's something. Honestly, genieism is just a beautiful tale of a old man who got lucky and then wished his feelings among the world. What a lovely, sappy story that got me trapped in the tomb.
Um,
But my lovely little Ymir, you save me.
Hey, oh, stop! Please
Um,
stop! You're embarrassing me.
okay.
You are.
moving on.
Anyways, I'm just gonna float around for a bit. I'm just gonna hang out. Is that fine?
Don't
Actually, it's
scare the
fine.
Animal, please.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Please don't
It's
scare the
by all
animal.
means.
I'm just kind of
Do-
just,
okay.
just kind of like it's still attached to like the medallion in Ymir's eye by like a tail wisp of flame, but it's just flying around.
Oh,
We're just gonna look at everybody with a smile, but like a how's everybody doing with the new news?
Does that hurt?
Huh?
Does that like hurt?
No.
Feels like a warm hug.
She's sort of like in my brain. We made like a deal.
Mm.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yes.
okay.
Things
She's
are-
hot.
Oh yeah. Literally, figuratively, emotionally, everything.
She's like
whole thing.
she's like fully naked, like up in the sky right now, just like fully like
Oh.
backpedaling and swimming.
Oh.
You see booty cheeks in the sky.
Interesting. I'm just gonna avert his eyes.
So,
She's sort of like my.
They're quite interesting.
She's sort of like my partner. In every kind of way, but a romantic relationship.
But
Cinder like kind of goes from their position, like floating around the sky. Very quickly, the flame kind of rends asunder in small. Cinder becomes a very small miniaturette version in your hand, Ymir. As you're kind of talking, you see Cinder just appears in your hand, just very miniature size, and just standing there, and just like, it's all fun and games whenever he gets in his head, and I just love helping him so much.
Yeah.
what? You know, never mind.
Well, I'm telling you guys now.
Yeah, he's being
No.
honest with you. I
This
mean,
is
I told him to let me out and just enjoy myself, but embarrassing, I suppose. I'm a little much.
He's
No,
not
this
gonna
is
like
good.
cause any problems.
I hope not.
So
I'm gonna go back because I've had my fill of the sun. But ta-ta, and just a
All
big
right,
like
love you.
fiery flame of vortex, and then it closes as you kind of like immediately sheathe your eye from the medallion, and it goes back into your eye.
Okay. So, thank you for sharing. I guess this is a sharing circle now, but not much of a circle. What's everybody else's baggage that we're talking about now? He'll look over to Mimosa specifically. We need to talk about what happened over at that temple thing within the ground.
Ugh. Idris shudders. Ugh.
But what are y'all talking about?
Oh, you were
I was at
up
the
in the.
entrance.
Oh,
Yeah, Mimosa.
I forgot you didn't even see that.
The last thing Veli remembers is Mimosa coming up a little sad by themselves, and then you gave Mimosa like the space basically at the campsite, and that was just kind of enough for Mimosa to like fall asleep on their own. But Veli, you kind of just watched them approach by themselves and were hearing conversation below, and you kind of shrugged it for the time. You're reading with Bongo.
So what happened?
Nothing else of importance really, but
The I guess Mimosa is or has a shadow. Mimosa, do you care to explain?
Mimosa, he's gonna like shrink even more in his seat, you know, cross his arms, avoid like looking at anybody. I don't know what it is really, but I can't be in the dark or it will come out.
What will
He's
come
like-
out?
It's this monster.
The calamitous Nereander.
Yeah, that's what my father named it.
Interesting.
Great, it has a name. Is like okay. So let's say in the situation where it does come out again, right? What is the best approach to getting rid of it or putting it back or however you call it?
Light. It gives me. It doesn't like being in the dark light, and that wasn't. I felt like that might have been a little obvious. Maybe it wasn't. That basically. Usually we just let it run off. It doesn't harm people unless it thinks it's going to be harmed.
It doesn't react well to any form of aggression.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh.
that makes sense.
Well, Idris pauses, crossing her arms. So, never mind. I'll ask later.
Go ahead and ask. We're asking questions now, so
It's.
Mimosa's gonna look at Idris.
It grabbed me when I called your name. Is there a reason why, or was it just kind of instinctive?
I guess if you want to relive that, Idris, you can make a history check, and Mimosa, you
Oh
can
yeah, let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Mimosa, you can make a, I guess an insight or an arcana. I don't know how else to describe it really.
Oh, 17.
17, okay. Easy to relive. It's like it happened yesterday,
Mhm.
for sure.
Nat 20.
Wow, for which one?
Insight.
Okay. For the point for Idris, your history, calling the name drove its attention, slammed you to the wall, almost suffocated you to death. It's so quick in your mind that it was almost as if speaking words was enough. And it's not a matter of like aggression more than it was what you were doing was potentially like maybe it felt as though you were a threat in some way, and it made you uneasy thinking about that. That's really all you can gather from your history. You remember calling out. Mimosa, you understand a little bit more because I'll give you this for your critical role. No sponsor intended, but you remember Father Cruz testing sometimes a little bit on you for like whenever you did have your phases and calling to your name. And Father Cruz, you would remember like the slamming against like the downstairs of like the cage whenever you tried to call Mimosa whenever he was in his form. And Mimosa responds. That's the problem. The problem is that Mimosa cannot respond in the way he deems necessary if he hears his name. He basically like Mimosa would do what he would like if you called for him. He would approach you, but whatever happens in that area where he's at is not really within his control. He's doing what he would think is like, when he was younger, a hug. But sometimes calling his name would like bend bars or like ruin the downstairs where you would have to reinforce it. And I think it's like a shared thing for Mimosa and Father Cruz because you both just having acknowledgement, like you both look at each other and like we remember talking about this before.
Those terrible teens.
Well, I was just gonna rub his face for a moment before answering. It's like I try to do something, but my body takes that initiative of wanting to do something and twists it into something worse.
Okay.
I think
But you
also,
listen?
I think also in that effort, Idris, there's still a face of like a hand reaching out to you that you remember, and the hand doesn't look like it's trying to choke you. The hand looks like it's reaching out for help when it tries to grab you, and it's like it's this twisted mind where you're like you want to help, but you're being choked out at the same time. So it's like it's very saddening and also distressing because you look at Mimosa in that same manner, and you know, like Mimosa, if you were to call for him if he was in pain, he would reach out for help, and it makes you very distraught and sad.
Idris like turns away and kind of not like, but she kind of folds in on herself and just thinks. It's hard. The last couple situations have been pretty hard.
Looks like we have a lot ahead of us, my Renaisseurs.
You guys
What?
arrive at the
Huh?
home. You guys kind of pull up. There's just a one singular house that's out here in the deserts of the infested sands. Not really on the trade route that you guys took from south to north, but kind of off the beaten path. You guys approach a home. Carnelian, you know this is a spot based upon your mapping your direction. The Emodrome also just knows because it's made this trip before, so it wasn't really too hard to guide. The Emodrome actually just stops when it knows it needs to stop, and the stuff that's on the package of like the cart and everything is there. There is a home, very sandstone in nature, squared. You see there's a water like wheel on the side, but it doesn't turn because it's like wherever the water was before is just filled up with sand. The door is closed. Like there's some light coming from inside, so it seems like it's occupied right now. There's like some farmland that's built off of it to like plant for like crop and seed, but again blown over with dust and sand.
Okay. Cornelia will like hop off the car after the creature stopped, and he'll look at everyone. If you want to wait here, you can. I don't need everybody following me to the door though.
Good
So,
to make
and he'll start
first
walking.
impressions.
I'll stay here.
Chris will get
I'll
up and go with
stay
him.
with Mimosa.
Going on?
I'll do whatever you want. Do you want me to go? You want me to stay?
Whatever. I guess come along, if you want to. Like I'm just talking to the guy. I don't really need people to walk up with me.
Okay.
You guys who are at the cart start offloading some of the things on the cart down and being ready to like kind of transport the goods like kind of either inside or wherever they want it. You know, like you guys are getting prepared basically to like move things around, unlock, let the like feed the Emodrome, etc. Cornelian, you walk to the front door with who?
Cruz.
Okay, Father Cruz. If any of you wish to follow, you may. But you arrive to the door, give it a couple knocks twice. You hear from inside, "Yeah, just 1 minute." You kind of hear like a moment of like steps. You hear 3 steps, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Father Cruz, you would know the sound of someone with a crutch, like someone who's like kind of walking with like a cane. This is someone you are familiar with, but they're relatively newer to like the area of the world. You don't know a name though. You just know that they moved outside of the skirts of Solaria. They don't feel comfortable there or something. You never really got around to meeting up. You do know this person existed though. So this
Do I
is
know his
also
name?
no. You have never met this person before. You just know that someone moved to the outskirts of Solaria. You never had guards or anything like that, or like attendants really. But you do know someone basically like stocked up like half a day's away, and never you just never visited. Just years around your time, I guess. This is recent,
Okay.
so you're just kind of like there. This is your first impression as well.
And we'll just wait.
Yeah, you wait.
And
At the moment of the door opening, you emerge and see a fluidly blue skin, as kind of like a greenish cloak and like staff is kind of held there. A white, like waterfall like beard comes from the bottom, and like hair that drizzles off in white. In the fan art, you see an image of someone standing there, and it's like, I think that shipment of goods is gonna come soon enough. And he kind of looks over the side and just looks over at the cart.
hello. Where would you like us to offload these resources?
You can bring it. Is that Ymir?
Hi.
Ymir! Come here.
Ymir's gonna jump off the car and start dashing.
You just like rush over, and he doesn't have like an open hug. He just kind of has.
No, he's running away.
Oh, you're running away. And that's going to end the session.
What the fuck?
No.
That's it.
So much to
That's
talk
perfect.
about.
That's literally perfect timing, bro. That is perfect timing.
You guys enjoy some blasts from your past, some things and revelations.
What the
We got it in, guys.
fuck?
Cool.
Yay!
Yay.
Woohoo.
I
Can you-
name dropped it, guys.
Can you pronounce it again?
Yeah.